This is the final day of the round of 16. It's Group D, the group death. We've got Action, Royal, Hero, and Mini. Of course, I'm joined by Scans.
나의 레벨은 다르다 어나더 레벨 하식스와
And
함께하는
this is ASL Season 14 Round of 16 group D. This is the last day of this round of 16. And yesterday we have watched that one of the death group, one Protoss, 3 Zerg competing each other, and we got to see Snow showing some great performance and making it out of the death group. And the second player who made it out of that group was Soki. But we also have 4 players are waiting for the interview. Action, Royal, Hero, Mini, how are you guys doing? And you earned the seeded playlist because you played the wild card and you won that tourney. And how do you feel and how did you prepare? Action was saying he had some trouble with sleeping. He doesn't feel that great. And you chose best in a group nomination, but ended up light swapping the players, Royal and best. What do you think about your group?
그냥 이제 도맨 선수가 도망가서 조금 실망하긴 했을 뿐.
So he's somewhat disappointed when Best went to the other group, but he's still confident to face against Royal. How well did you prepare for the game number 1 against Royal?
지성이가 엄청 잘한다고 하더라고요.
So Action is saying
저 자신 있고
Royal is very, he's playing really well, showing such a nice game on Ultimate Battle and on Spampang, online Spampang. So he's somewhat definitely aware of it.
B조로 오게 된 김지성 선수입니다.
Royal.
바뀌고 난 이후에 만족도의 변화도 조금 있었을까요?
How do you feel when Light decided to swap around the best's name and your name and ended up you staying in Group D?
최근 김지성
So
선수의 기세를
he
보면
kind of likes about the group.
1위 진출에 대한 가능성을 굉장히 높게
Instead of playing that 3 Terran
김지성 선수의
and 1 Protoss in that
어느
Group
정도
B.
차 계신지도 좀 궁금한데요.
How confident are you to play in this round of 16?
부담스럽고 좀 그랬었는데
So Roy is saying that
기분이 좋더라고요.
he's feeling more excited to play in this round of 16. In the previous season, he was somewhat scared to play in the round of 16 because there's lots of strong players have to be competing each other. Not unlikely compared to round of 24. But he's somewhat overcome. So he's feeling very confident today. Hero, how are you guys doing? How are you doing? And how did you prepare? Hero is saying this is going to be a tough group, but he had some great feeling while he was practicing with his partner. So he feels like he's going to be making out of this group easily.
일단 현재 진짜 잘한다고 생각하고 쉽지 않다고
And
생각하는데.
how do you feel that you're facing against Mini? Mini is definitely a strong player, but he just has to face it and take him down. Mini, you did not get selected until the last group. You ended up placed in Group D. How do you feel?
이제 다른 선수들이 제가 까다로워서 제일 늦게 뽑은 거잖아요. 그래가지고
So Mini is answering that
실력이 많이 올라왔구나 생각을 하고
a lot of players are pretty much having some tough time. They don't like to face against Mini, so that's why they didn't choose him. So he's somewhat liking about the part where they are valuing his skill really high.
전으로 올라갈 거라고 생각하거든요.
What is your chance of making out of this group? And he's saying that he's going to be making out of this group as a second player. He thinks he's going to be ended up playing a final match. He is more confident to play in the best of 3 series instead of best of 1.
어떤 부분을 좀 궁금해하셨을지 팬분들의 의견도 좀 전해드리겠습니다. C조 경기 역시 쟁쟁한 선수들로 구성이
So in the group C, we have watched a lot of tough games. Not just in the mirror matchup, also Zerg versus Protoss matchup against Snow.
D조 등 좀 어떤 조가 더 어렵게 느껴지시는지 이 부분은 저그 김성대 선수의 답변을 좀 들어보고 싶네요.
So it's a question to Action.
D조에 있다면 지금 D조에 계시니까
You are right now in Group D. What if you were in Group C? Do you think
저그 대 저거 약간 반반 보고요.
it is going to be a
어려운 것
do you think it's going to be feeling somewhat different than
그렇다면 우리
being in
토스
Group D,
변현재
or somewhat
선수는
easier, or somewhat
본인이
more
만약에 시조
harder to
장윤철
play?
선수의 위치에 있었다면
And actually
그리고
saying
지금의
that
위치 어떤 게 조금
he
더
is
어렵게
pretty much
느껴지세요?
underestimating
제가 이제
Mini,
윤철이가
underestimating Snow.
저거전을 좀 더 못해도 이제 첫 경기만 이기면 윤철이는 무조건
So Mini is saying about the Group C.
이제 최종전에서 무조건 올라갈 거라고
So,
생각했거든요. 근데
Mini is saying
윤철이가
that
첫
Snow
경기
beat
올라간 거 보니 제가
game number 1 against
시즌에서도
Soma,
첫 경기가
best of 1
제일
series.
중요했을 것 같아요. 첫 경기를 지면 좀 허무하게 떨어졌을 것 같은데
So he's
첫 경기를
saying
이기면 좀 저그전이 괜찮은 것 같아요.
even if it was a one product with a 3 circuit in the group stage, if you ever get to win the first game and stay in the winner's bracket, then it's somewhat comfortable for Protoss to make it out of it. But if you don't, then it's going to be a tough group for Protoss.
일단 세종족전 다
How did
하긴
you split your
했는데
time to practice
하나가
of this
이제
ASL round
됐다
of 16
싶으면
Group
이제
D?
또 하나가 남아 있고
Because there's
또 하나가 남아 있더라고요.
One Zerg,
생각보다
one
연습이
Terran,
좀 길게 걸렸고 좀 쉽지 않았던 것 같아요.
and one Protoss.
연습에 대한 완성도는 조일장
So
선수
it wasn't that
어떤
easy
거
to
같으신가요?
practice because he has to face all the
결국
race.
다 된 것 같아요.
아 결국 오래 걸렸지만
It took some long
완성됐다.
time,
좋습니다.
but he's
이번에는
prepared
김진성
to play.
선수와 변현재 선수에게 남겨주신 질문인데요. 지난 시즌에 이어 이번 시즌에도 두 선수가 만나게 되셨습니다. 자, 온라인에서
So,
호각세 전적을
question to
기록하고 있는
Royal.
선수지만
They met each
오프라
other
ASL
a season or
무대만
2 seasons ago,
변현재 선수가 조금 더 강한 모습을 보였거든요. 김지성
and you
선수
are
이 부분에
often
대한 약간의
met
부담,
Mini,
압박 안
and you always
느껴지실까요?
getting knocked out by Mini.
저도 이제 온라인에서 할
Do you
때도
feel-
형한테 할만하다 마인드로 하고 대회 때도 이제
Do you feel uncomfortable playing each other, or do you feel uncomfortable facing against
어제
Mini?
시조 보니까
in a
또
group
이제
stage.
자주 지던 선수들이 이기더라고요.
네.
그거 보니까 오늘 저도 만약에
So Royal saying that
이길 수 있지 않을까
Uh,
장윤철, 김민철의
those
기운을
players who made it out of the
이어받겠다.
round of
변현재
16,
선수는
they're
어제
most likely
경기를
having a
보면서
high chance getting
그래도 매번 이기는
eliminated,
선수들이
but they
많이
ended up
지는
surviving.
선수들이 있고, 또 어려워하는
So they play really, really
선수들이
well
올라가는
playing
모습
against
보면서 어떠셨나요?
someone who's much better. But he also thinks he might have some
지돈 선수가 이기는 거를 크게
nice
신경 안
fortune
쓰고
that
다른
he might
선수들
have some
경기만
chance
생각을
taking him
하거든요.
down,
근데
taking
윤철이
Mini
게임이
down.
너무 잘하더라고요. 그래서 이제 좀
So Mini is also saying something about
그렇게만 저도 이제
Snow's
풀어 나갔으면 좋겠는데 이제 그냥 그런
Snow's
생각밖에
performance?
없어요. 이제 지성이한테
Since
제가
he
많이
survived from
이겼더라도
the
제가
death
온라인에서
group?
좀 생각보다 많이 지거든요.
and Mini is
지성도
thinking
이제 매
that
시즌마다 더
his
잘해지고
group is
있어가지고
somewhat hard
좀
for him.
부담이 이번엔 더
He does have
있는데
some pressure,
제 플레이만 좀 더 잘하면
but if
좀
he
이길 거라고
plays well,
과연 두 선수가 오늘 경기
as long as he's just keeping up his pace, then he will be pretty much make it in this round of 8. We have one more question. We have one more question to ask.
어떤 선수와 같이 올라가면 좋을 것 같은지 김성대 선수 어떻게
If you
생각하세요?
have to go, if you're advancing into round of 8, who would you like to go with?
네, 본인이 1위로 진출한다는
So
가정하에
if you
어떤
are
선수와
the
함께
player who,
올라가고
if you are the
싶은지,
first
올라갈
player
것
getting out of the
같으신지.
round of 16 of this group,
아니,
then who would you like to
딱히
go
남한테 관심이
into
없어서
round of
네.
8?
별로 신경 안 쓰고 저만 꼭 올라갔으면 좋겠습니다.
일단 나는 한 자리
So-
무조건 차지하겠다. 좋습니다. 끝으로
So he's just
각오를
pretty
한
much
마디씩
saying best of luck to
들어보겠습니다.
everyone.
네,
He
김성대
does
선수 한
not,
말씀
he does not
해주세요.
like to choose. Any last word before we go into the game?
연습 후회 없이 많이 했으니까 재밌는 게임.
He did practice a lot for the round of 16 group stage. He will not regret because he has prepared everything. He will show his best performance.
기대해 주실 만큼
Royal is saying
하겠습니다.
기대하겠습니다.
he has been showing
조일장
such a
선수.
nice performance on online and ultimate battle and so on. So he's having some great,
그냥 편하게 할 생각이니까.
great feeling that he will make it out of the group. Hero,
좋습니다. 마지막 변현재 선수의
don't
말씀
have some
들어볼게요.
high expectation for me. He does not like to have pressure, but he will try his best to make it out of the group. And Mini,
16강 마지막
he'll
경기
try
내
his best
선수의
as well.
최선의 모습 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
and thank you for the
자,
interview.
이렇게 16강 D조 경기를 앞두고 있는
Yep,
4명의
thank you for the
선수와 함께
translations scan. And you got to remember, Mini was a champion just a couple seasons ago, and he thinks he's going to make it out in second place. So that tells you all you need to know about how strong this group is. Our first matchup is going to be, what is it, Action versus Royal first? So we've got a Zerg versus Terran to start us off.
Yeah, Zerg versus Terran on Vermeer. I have something that comes to my mind would be JYJ versus Hero on Vermeer, where JYJ went off with a 3 Rex first into Academy and then pressured against the Hero, and Hero had some tough time dealing against those early bio pressure, but then he started to fall up because of the snowball started from the early stage of the game. And I wonder what Action has.
Yeah, I'm also curious what Action has gotten planned for this series because every time I think of Action, I think of big macro play, which I've talked about numerous times, but whenever we see him in ASL, it never ends up being the big macro. It always ends up being some type of micro-oriented build. We get a
Right.
look at the round of 8 players. You can see it's even. We've got 2 Terrans, Light and Rush, 2 Zergs, Shine and Sulky, and then 2 Protoss, Bisu and Snow. So it's as balanced as it could possibly be.
It was incredible how Snow was performing from last night. With the Reavers out, wasn't really expecting. But the thing... Okay, it looks like the screen was stuttering there. But we are seeing, yeah, that's the last group, Action, Royal, Hero, Mini. Not sure who's going to be making out of the group, but I have a feeling Royal going to be making it into round of 8 and maybe into semi-final this season.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. And remember, after today's series, I think we have the group draw instantly, so you definitely want to stick around for that. We're getting a bit of comments about Group D. I can't read it, so tell us what
the
it says,
Group
Scan.
D, the key point here is that Action has the highest win rate in the ASL Zerg versus Terra matchup. He has the highest win rate. I wasn't expecting of it because maybe a couple of seasons ago I saw Effort was the guy who had the highest win rate in the Zerg versus Terra matchup, but I guess now Action took it over. Really showed nice performance against Royal. And Royal, he has been showing such a nice performance on online, Ultimate Battle, Spunpang, and so on. Will he be showing some nice performance on the offline stage as well? And Hero has been showing such a nice performance in round of 24. Will he be making out of the group as the first player? And season 13, Mini, pretty much he was a victim and he wasn't able to survive in a round of 16 in season 13. Will he survive this time?
Well, season 13, I can't feel bad for Mini because Mini was a bit cocky in his group selection. He picked Light, and Light is like his nemesis. Like Light almost never loses to him. At least he didn't in previous years. We're getting a look at the stats. You can see Action's win rate 61.3 versus Terran. I mean, this is what I was expecting to see because Action's so good versus Terran. He's got the big macro, but can he pull it out on the ASL stage is the real question. And meanwhile, when we get to Royal stats, I'm expecting him to not have as many games played, but you got to factor in his ASTL games because he's put in a lot of games there. Remember, he all killed. Oh, look at that 80% win rate versus Zerg.
That's incredibly high win rate in an ASL performance. But he's still somewhat lacking in TVT and TVP. But like you said, he has been showing such a nice performance in ASTL, and we don't have any more of ASTL, but I'm looking forward to see how well Royal will be showing in the round of 16 today.
Yeah, and I think I remember hearing you yesterday talking about you're expecting to see 4 racks or 3 or 4 racks from Royal as opposed to 5 racks. You're talking about the eBay openers that we saw Light play earlier.
eBay.
Well,
Quite not remember me, but the one thing that I noticed, Royal really likes to go for eBay first into 4 racks. He's the type of player who likes to focus on an upgrade, not just in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. He loves upgrade for some reason. He just loves upgrade any race matchup.
All right, well, we'll see if he wants to go for the quick upgrades. I know he can also pull out a variety of builds. I've seen him play Valkyrie sometimes. I've seen him rush a fast factory after a couple barracks, like you pointed out in the Light game with that 530 factory versus Shine. We'll see what he has planned, but really I want to know what Action has planned. I want to see big macro. We've got Vermeer. It's a huge map. Definitely allows for big macro. And we are ready. Let's get into game 1 of Action versus Royal on Vermeer. And in the top left, our teal Zerg, it is Action. And in the bottom right, got our yellow Terran, it is Royal.
And here's something that I'm always, for me, whenever I'm watching Royal's game, it just makes me to just have to take a look on his how he actually mines his mineral, like which number, which mineral fields he is actually mining and working on the mineral boost all the time, because Royal was the guy pretty much found out all those optimization. I mean, his optimization is much cleaner than Flash. I mean, in terms of like the build order optimization and how units has been played. But look at that, Kamsung Woman University. Those students are here and rooting for action. Yeah. So where did I stop talking about? And that's Kimchi Boy Royal rooting for Royal. A lot of CW University.
Yeah, Kimchi Boy to play on his name, Kimchi Song. And we do have an early pool opener, so already action going for a little bit of an aggressive play. It's an over pool, it's not a 9 pool, so it does have a little bit better econ than, you know, the 9 pool, but it would prevent something like an 8 racks or an aggressive opener. We see Royals not going for that, so don't really expect this to deal much damage, and also the fact that it's cross spawns, really Royal shouldn't take any damage at all. And we do have a weird scout pattern from Royal. He's going to go cross map, and this is going to be very lucky for him because he's going to find action first.
What if that last second vision shows at the end, like the end at end of the drone scout vision shows the SCV, but I guess he did not get to see it. But now the SCV comes, and now Royal is having a great shot with the scouting pattern, and now action will be thinking, oh, the SCV came from either vertical or horizontal, so now my Zergling has to go all the way to 1 o'clock. And that is just going to be feeling uncomfortable for action here. But let's see. Royal is about to have a single marine just popped out for Zergling production. And look at that, action has not put down the extractor yet. So that is going to be, action will be taking another spawning location at the 7 o'clock.
Yep, and when I saw this opener, I was thinking to myself, this looks like it's going to be that typical 3-hatch Eclipse build you see very often, where they take the nat and then they take the third base. This time around, action, instead of taking top middle or mid left, for example, he's opted to take the main. But Royal, seeing there's no gas, he knows 100% there is a third base out on the map somewhere. We do have command center going down. Look at how little SCVs he had to pull to actually defend this. Just one. So overall, this overpool really hasn't gotten anything done for action.
Yeah, very strong and confident with his decision making, placing down the command center immediately against the pool first with the overpool opening from action. And we can see Royal is just pumping up lots of marine production there and try to figure out where the third hatchery is, and he will be finding out there's a hatchery at the 7 o'clock. And we are seeing still no refinery yet for Royal, putting down the second barracks as well.
Yeah, I was expecting to see the second barracks, even though you're talking about how Royal loves the upgrades. Getting the second barracks is going to put a lot of pressure, especially since the third base is not on the low ground, or it's not at a mid-left base, mid or top-middle base. He's going to have to build, well, he may not build Sunkens, but if he does, he's going to have to build multiple, like 3 or 4, because those Marines could swoop around the mineral line and just sit behind it. That is a lot of Marines to show already, though, so action should know that a 2 racks is coming. Academy just now starts, though, so this is a 4-minute Academy, so this is kind of slow in comparison to a lot of Academy builds that we see.
Yeah, that is true, and he has actually made 7 Marine before Academy, so I mean, something is not normal to get a normal type of playstyle where you can get to see. Maybe he's somewhat worried about. Action is the type of player who just likes to shove in the Zergling whenever he feels like to. And maybe that could be one of the reasons why he is just somewhat playing safe here. And action still does not have the lair tech being finished, and there's an overlord watching how or where the SCV is going through.
Yeah, that is true about the Lings. If it was going to come, the Lings would have hit around now or a couple seconds before. So the fact that they haven't hit by now means that Royal is pretty much safe. He does see a couple more Lings have been produced, but again, still no speed. And this is something like 11 Marines. If you can get 2 medics out, Yes, see, this is what I was talking about. He's going to double sunken bottom left, but that doesn't even cover the top side of the mineral line. Doesn't cover the gas either. So he's either going to have to accept that the top side's not going to be able to be mined for now, or he's going to build some more. I don't think he should build more. That would really cripple his econ. We've got a Ling counterattack. There's nothing here, so he may be able to disrupt this mining.
Well, there's the one thing that I personally do not understand. It was like you said, those two sunken colony bottom of the hatchery. So now he scans off to figure out how much of a sunken colony at the natural. So he will be decided to turn around and go all the way to 7 o'clock. And that marine, the marine count is just large enough to hurt action, I believe.
Yeah, this could deal a lot of damage. We watched, was it Rush? I think it was Rush just pop 2 sunkens instantly. So this is definitely breakable, but this is a ton of Lings coming from the back. And I don't think Royal realizes how many Lings are actually behind. But this is what I was saying, like these Marines can't be touched in this particular position. He's gonna have to wait for the mutas to pop out, which they will be coming pretty soon. So
I think action is screwed because I'm looking at the minimap and notice the action does not have the second extractor here. So we saw the spectator showed us that he has the Hydra Den and the Spire Tech together. I just heard something being cancelled. So yeah, I mean, with only one Vespene gas, one Vespene geyser, how much of Muta can you actually make? Probably none, I believe, because he has invested so much, and now we see the Hydra is out.
Yeah, in fact, this was a fake. This is definitely not going to be Mutas. It is just going to be Ling Lurker. And you know what I was thinking as I'm watching this? Royal committed a lot of Marine Medic to bottom left. What if Action had built just like 5 Lurkers and Masslings and just instantly counterattack? Kind of like this, how he gets into the main. There's nothing here. It's just 3 racks, so 8 Lings will rack up a lot of kills, but Action's still in trouble despite the amount of damage he's dealing right now. This actually forces Royal out of the third base. He's going to try and turn around with this army, but he's taken, I don't know, not that much damage actually, and he kills an Overlord, so he's supply blocked Action.
Well, that is really weird to see how he lost an SCV Overlord, but not much of a harassment has been done. But 4 Mutas, 5 Mutas are out on the map, but still lots of pressure at the 7 o'clock. Action is still placing down more sunken colony to defend, but now that one single missile turret has been taken down at the natural, so that is going to be a vulnerable place.
It is a vulnerable place, but like you said, this was one gas for a long time. This is just 5 Mutas. I realize there are no turrets, but how many kills can he actually get? They don't even one-shot SCVs. He's actually killed a decent chunk of them. He killed like 3 or 4 right there. This is annoying to deal with, but I know his tech is basically complete. The starport I saw was done. Vessel may already be started. Back in Action's main, he's rushing into Hive. I don't even know if he built a single Lurker. We saw a Hydra at bottom left, but I didn't actually see a Lurker anywhere. Muta's going to swoop into the main, catches the turret, not completed. This is annoying.
That is going to be doing lots of damage, and there's a counterattack with the Marine shoving at the behind of the mineral line, hurting the drone. And we are seeing Royal making 1 or 2 siege tank, but I'm not sure how exactly he will be doing the damage dealt there. But Mutas are coming back home to 7 o'clock. That's 7 Muta. I guess he's just having so much of a delay mining the 7 o'clock by the 7 Marine here. So I think he really needs to clean it before the tank actually comes out and start pressuring him more.
Yeah, he definitely needs to make sure that this doesn't sync up with the tank push, because even though this isn't that many Marine Medics, I mean, it is still something like 10. So he definitely needs to wipe this off the map. And he's going to. He's got 5 Mutas left over, which will one-shot all the Marines. And we're going into Guardians? This build is so weird. The Hydra Den with the Mutas on 1 gas into delayed Mutas into Guardians now with an Evolution Chamber. If I scan this, I would think, okay, maybe this is Hydra Guardian, but he just doesn't have any Hydras with this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this greater spire right now he's getting, because the vessel is already out. I mean, if the starport was not that fast, then that Guardian build that he's right now trying to do will be that effective, because none of the raids will be clearing it. But now these number of sunken colony will pretty much buy some time, but actually Royal needs to be very careful.
But Royal it doesn't even matter if he gets up this ramp because he should feel amazing that he forced 7 Sunkens at a third base. He disrupted the mining up until the 10-minute mark. He's forced Guardians also. I mean, this is just so much economic damage that Action did to himself. And we've got the tank push trying to push down these Sunkens. They will. There's only like 2 or 3 Guardians actually morphing. Can he knock down the Lurkers though?
And I think he's just going to be ignoring and targeting down the Lurker. But lots of Marines has been killed. And now 1 or 2 and 3rd Guardian is on the way as well. Lurker has been transferred all the way to 7 o'clock. The Guardian irradiated. Okay, that's a good one.
Well, he's decided he's got enough here to continue the push. I think the Guardians will eventually win this. So this may have been an overstep. Yeah, look at that range. He's going to knock down one of the tanks instantly. This is still super annoying for Action to deal with, but he's actually going to get a victory here. It doesn't lose that much, which is really the key thing. And behind this, I don't see an expansion for Royal at all, so he must be flooding those barracks.
Yeah, those units has been the Lurker and Guardians are trying to buy some time back. Now, once again, Action is having another tough time mining the 3rd gas. Once again, the 3rd extractor has been taken down. More Marine has been come, and Nidus Cannon has been fall. So this is not looking that great for Action here.
Yeah, he lost his Nidus, but I think this was definitely a worthwhile trade for him. He loses like 2 Guardians, a couple Sunkens, and he's going to kill all the Marines, all the medics, 3 tanks. The vessel's going to get away, but this is finally a good trade for him, and supplies are okay. It's 100 to 70 now, and like I said, Royal was flooding barracks, so he's just now building his 3rd base, so it's not like he double expanded or something crazy where he's got big econ behind it. And he's also only on 5 racks. I'm surprised he doesn't have more production.
Yeah, he really needs to work on the macro building. But now Zerg is just going to be stalling the 3 gas here, and that overlord is really, really annoying. In my opinion, I mean, those overlord will be eventually get cleared up because of the science vessel will be showing the vision on the at those terrain, but without the science vessel, that overlord is just pretty much like a map pack watching all of your M&M force in the mid game. And now those overlords are cleared. Action really needs to start chasing and figures out what Royal is actually tending to do. And I see there's 0 Lurker at this natural.
Yeah, 0 Lurkers there, but he still has that Dark Swarm, and there isn't a crazy amount of vessels just yet with the army. I think there's only 3 with the army, 2 more at the natural, and maybe 2 more coming out. So he's going to be upwards of 7 or so. And because of the kill that Action got at bottom left, he's feeling confident to take his 5th base. However, Irradiate's coming in, Lurker's going to get killed, Guardians are going to get killed. This is a sizable Marine ball, and they have 1-1 upgrades, so that base got instantly shut down. However, Action knows the army's completely out of position, so he's going for a Ling Dark Swarm backstab. Is there enough actual damage here, though? Well, as far as the bust on bottom left, I think Royal does have enough here, but with the Nidus, Action should be able to save it. Now, does he have anything to clear the Lings? Dark Swarm's coming into the natural. He's got Scourge. He gets only 1 vessel.
Yeah, only 1 vessel will fall, but now there's the double orange cloud will be doing the damage. But at the same time, here's the counterattack at the 7 o'clock. Dark Swarm really needed here, consuming the drone, consuming the Zergling as well. He wants to throw. Okay, that's a plague. I don't know if plague is actually worth it here, but I guess it does work because the Medic's AI is just becoming just not too smart to heal those Marine.
When I saw there was no cloud coming out, I was looking at it, I was like, is the Defiler bugging out? Is he really not going to hold this? But the Plague clutch right there hits basically the entire army. So he still cleans it up anyways. But he didn't actually get much damage done with his Ling counterattack, but Action still feels confident to take a 4th base. However, it's going to be at top left. We saw the Ultralisk Cavern coming in too. And Royal's got his 3rd base up and running, and he's out in the map with a 50 supply lead. The vessel count is still menacing at 6 or so that's a lot of irradiates. And I saw a high-tech building go down. Is that a starport or a factory? Oh, it's an eBay.
Yeah, that is an eBay at his main base, and here's just way too much of a science vessel to deal for Action, in my opinion. I mean, Oh yeah, now those two sense vessels will be start erasing the drone, and now he needs to evacuate. Drones will get plagued, and that is just gonna be not gonna be that useful to defend. And now Sunken is also bleeding up. Zerglings are getting irradiated. That's a lot of fire bats.
That is a ton of fire bats. If there's a dark swarm, the fire bats are still going to be able to push through it. But the plague comes in and actually didn't hit that many fire bats. And I think Royal may actually bust through here. However, there was a counterattack at the third base. But with no dark swarm, means that the Lynx can get easily cleaned up. There's those fire bats moving in on those lurkers. Maybe Shin will barely hold. I don't think so, though. There's too many Marines in the back line. All the Sunkens fall. All that remains really is the hatchery. And he's a bit of... I thought it was miscontrol from Royal there, but actually focuses down the Nidus. And I think finally Action is going to lose bottom left, and he does. He taps out GG, and that means Royal's going to be moving on into the winner's match.
Wow. That was pretty much, I mean, how should I say it? Very intensive game in the early mid stage of the game, because 12 Marine with the 2 medics were just sitting at the 7 o'clock and buying some time, and also Action probably has some his build order, the bag of builds, what he really wanted to do. I mean, he was squeezing all of his resource for Zergling, and he didn't invest any of his money for second gas and third gas at all to hold off the early stage of the game. But just things did not work out well. Things did not sync up well, and Royal just snowballed really well in the early stage of the game.
Yeah, he just had no money. I liked Action's strategy, but what do you think of this? What if he had put his hatchery at bottom left, the natural there, instead of the high ground? Because then he could have actually sunkened with 2 Sunkens instead of building 4 and then 7 Sunkens to try and hold these Marines.
Yeah, you're also right about that question too, because if you are taking the 3rd expansion at the natural, then the 4th base will be taken at the main base, and that is going to be eventually becoming a free expansion for Action. But maybe he just didn't want to take a natural expansion, because that will just ended up having Royal. Okay, we'll be coming back after the commercial break.
We just had our first match, which was a Terran versus Zerg, and now we're going to be going into our second match, which is a Protoss versus Zerg. It's going to be Hero versus Mini. Getting a look at Hero's stats, basically 50% win rate across the board, but his best matchup versus Protoss sitting at 58% win rate, and he's got a lot of games played, over 100 games in ASL. So this is definitely a really strong Zerg versus Protoss player.
And we also can see this his recent 5 games against Protoss is 5 wins and 0 losses. So 100% win rate so far of his recent performance, and he seems very calm. I mean, I don't quite remember how far he made it in season 13, but he seems very calm and seems ready to get to play. And we're also taking a look at mini stats, 61.3%, and he has played so much of a PvZ compared to his PvT and PvP.
Yeah, he's got 110 games played, but over 60 of them are versus Zerg. So that is a pretty nuts win rate. And he also, even though he's not 5-0 in his last 5 games, he's 4-1. So he's definitely a formidable Protoss player in PvZ. But speaking of calm play, we know Mini, he can play calm, but he's definitely an emotional player. If something goes wrong, it will affect him, and you will see it in his face on stream. Now, how does Mini face off versus Hero? Like, we know Light is just dominates Mini generally, but is there a favorite here? Is Hero like a nemesis for Mini and Zerg versus Protoss?
Well, there's a one thing that we have to know. They were both in STX Seoul. And we know in the previous, before, or I should, okay, well, we'll explain more after once we get into the game. And here we are.
Okay, in the bottom left are red Zerg. It is Hero. And in the bottom right, in the blue, it is Mini. And you were talking to us just a second ago about how they were both in STX Seoul.
Yeah, they were both in STX Seoul, and in that prime time, Hero wasn't having better record or better performance in terms of like a pro league and individual tournament and so on. But yeah, we can see there might be some story between them, but there's something that I noticed in post Casper era, because whenever the new upcoming player had some time, like taking down all those strong player in the Casper era time, they have some difficulty when they're facing them in an ASL performance. Like, it's kind of like a senpai thing.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that's something that comes into play, or if Mini will overcome Hero here. You can see a lot of Hero fans actually, and we do have an overpool opener from Hero. We have Mini with the gateway expand. I didn't actually see the gateway timing, but it looks like this was most likely a 10 gate. And we do have gas again. So just like yesterday with the gas opener from Soma and Queen, we've got Hero also opting for, this was a 130 gas.
It's somewhat weird to see how Zerg recently start to do the overpool gas opening, and now we get to see Mini has decided to go for 2 gate opening.
Well, this is not a scenario that we see often, but when he sees pool and gas, is this something that 2-gate wants to face? Do they really want to face speedlings out on the map?
Well, I think I like about Mini's position because you have more Zala production to hold off against these Zergling harassment, and that probe is just so, it's just devil. That probe is such a devil. They're chasing the drone all the way long, try to get that drone, but 1-2 hits away.
Oh, the control is fantastic from both sides. Hero narrowly saving that probe. Can Mini's probe get down here and deny the drone? Answer is no. First Zealot has hidden itself at the center of the map, and I think Hero's going to be surprised to see that this is a 2-gate. He needs to find that it's a 2-gate, because if you think about yesterday, Soma, after his first 4 to 6 links, he didn't build many more, and we see a drone come out. If this gets up to 5 Zealots, I think Hero's going to be in trouble. Luckily, he does find the gateways, and he sees 2 of them.
Yeah, now Hero has figured out. Mini has been going for the the natural 2 gateway. So now Hero needs to make some decision making here, but I guess those larvae that he has been using for more Zergling drone production, so he's pretty much lacking with the Zergling count. That's why he invested on 125 resource for the sunken colony. But now Zealot is finding a sweet spot to harass.
Yeah, Mini, he did lose his probe, which is a lot of lost DPS when synced up with even that single Zealot. But we've got 2 Zealots sitting behind the mineral line. That's going to be annoying. Probably force out another Sunken, in fact. But Hero for now is just going to ignore that. He's going to send these Lings across the map. The Zealots are out of vision. They never saw the Lings move, so this may catch Mini off guard. He's now set up his Sim City, so he shouldn't really take much damage here. That bottom Zealot looks like it's slightly out of position, but nope, he fixes that.
And that seems really, really crazy here because Hero does not know about... Well, he does know about the 2 Zealots standing at the net, but I guess he's just going to be squeezing all of his larvae for more Zergling production here. And those 2 Zealots standing at the net, it will be just buying some time more and more. And while Mini is just taking some time, whether he wants to put down the simulator or whatnot, because he knows more Zergling has been made. No drone coming out and it's being saturated at the natural, so there's absolutely no reason for Mini to put down the simulator yet until he's somewhat okay with defending the Zergling pressure.
Yeah, this was actually an amazing opener from Mini. He's dealt so much economic damage because Zerg just can't build any drones. He's going to have a really good trade here. He's going to lose the top Zealot, but that Zealot... okay, actually the Link got quite a lot of surface area, so it didn't kill as much as I thought. But still, drone count is really low for Zerg right now. Maybe about 12? I mean, that's it. That's not much mining it for him at all. However, Lings try and get in, but they're not able to.
Yeah, that is quite weird of how 3 Zealot was still standing at the main ramp. And yeah, like I said, since Hero has been squeezing all of his library for more Zergling production, no reason to put down the simulator. Just heavily work on the mineral resource and just squeeze all of your money for more Zealot production and photon cannon now. And Hero is trying to go for the backstab, but no gap there.
And we've got another in-base macro hatch, just like what we saw yesterday in Soma's game. Instead of it being at the natural, it's in the main. This hatchery, however, is on the low ground at the 3rd base. This is 7 Zealots, though. I don't think at the moment Hero has enough Lings to hold it, but with 1 round of units from all of his hatches, maybe, but that 7 Zealots is about to turn into 12 in just a second.
Yeah, that 7 Zealot plus 5, that is going to be a 12 Zealot. A dozen of Zealot is definitely strong, and there's a way of calculating how, like, the optimization, how much of Zergling you actually need to hold up. Hold on, we're gonna be taking a look at here. Okay, Zealot just pops out at the right time to hold up, and this is so much of a Zealot. Yeah, the optimization for the amount of Zergling you need to hold up against the 12 Zealot is 36, and does Hero have more than 36 to hold off? And I think the answer is pretty much no.
No, I thought he was going to win that fight, but maybe not. The Zealots, even though they're low health, they're going to walk away. Half of them, no, actually they're going to come in for round 2 with 2 more Zealots syncing up with him. That's 8, and it may just barely be too many Zealots for Mini. However, with Lings coming in through the back, those Zealots on the right side are very healthy, so maybe actually Mini can push through. No, it's just too many Lings right now. However, Mini should feel great about this trade. That's Lings that aren't drones. There's still no lair. There's still no hydrogen. There's 0 tech at all. Meanwhile, Citadel is halfway done. All Mini has to do right now is make sure he doesn't die to a counterattack, and he should be in a good spot.
And now Hero, he managed to hold off that a dozen of Zealot nicely there. Made about more than 40 Zergling to hold off and have some remaining Zergling to face at the front line to see whether the Zealots are moving out. But look at that, the Overlord evacuates and now placed additional 3 more Zealot. And I see, okay, Mini finally puts down the second assimilator, so I'm gonna be expecting this is going to be the +1 Zealot pressure into maybe something like a Gun build. It can be a Gun build because there's no other units besides Zergling.
Yeah, it's most likely just going to be Zealots with... Okay, well, this is an overstep. Finally, the first mistake from Mini. Can he actually save these Zealots? He gets away with 2 out of the 4. Mini, I was looking at his natural. He has so many probes there. Like, actually, so many probes. In his main, it looked like it was undersaturated a little bit, but maybe not. But that was finally a good trade for Hero there. He got a couple of Zealots, not necessarily for free, but a good trade for him. And behind this is 5 gate for Mini. He's got 3 in his main, 2 at his natural. He's got double gas coming. I think we're going to see even more gateways come up in just a moment. And that's a 6 hatch for Hero. I didn't see Hydrogen anywhere. Okay, Spire actually.
Yeah, because of I knew Hero will be just immediately going for the Sparta because he saw there was no Stargate at Mini's main base. So the only possibility Mini can hold off against the Muta Zerglin build will be switching around to the Gun production. But I guess he is somewhat confident. Maybe there's something that I do not understand about in terms of a PvZ matchup. But let's see how he's going to be solving the problem.
Well, this Zealot attack at the 3rd base draws all the Lings out of position. He's going for an instant counterattack into the natural. Actually gets in a decent amount of Zealots, but with the drone drill, that's not going to be a place that he can actually bust. Those Zealots, surprisingly, don't have +1. I imagine they should be coming in pretty soon. More Lings being pumped out. It's still very low supply for Hero. He's sitting at just 45, and another round of Lings, which means not many drones for Hero still.
And now we are seeing Mini is finally making the gun range upgrade like I had been mentioning, because the Mutalists are just gonna be swapping around Mini's main base and sniping the High Templar if he ever moves out.
Well, Mini alarm bell should be going off because he's seen no tech units at all. No Hydras, just Lings. You'd have to think there has to be some type of tech coming from Hero, and all those eggs might actually be Mutas. If he goes straight to the natural, or the main I mean, there's no cannons, there's no Archon, there's no anything.
And Mutas are now going all the way across, and 2 guns will be sitting at the main. Okay, 3rd gun is about to come inside, and Mini is trying to place that 2nd cannon at the natural. Yeah, that's a nice photon cannon placement.
He's not feeling confident enough to push into these 3 goons. The cannon may actually get denied. He's got the sweet spot of Muta. It's 5. He's one-shotting these probes. He's already killed 4, 5, 6. That's a lot of damage for just 5 Muta. 7, 8, 9. He gets so many probe kills because Mini was just slightly delayed on that cannon. The Storm actually does a decent amount of damage, but look how many probes he actually killed. That was upwards of 12, and that supply gap that was 75 to 45 a minute ago, now it's 91 to 75.
It's so crazy how well Hero is so good at optimizing and the worker count and just slowly catching up in terms of game. And this is something that I was mentioning about. He needed to switch around to Gun because Sunkuns will always going to be placed behind on the hatchery, and Zealots cannot go through. You need the range unit to take down the Hydroden and the hatchery. Here are some of our Zergling and Mutalists are trying to go for the backstab. Is this going to be the backstab? Does he have a High Templar? Yes, he does.
He's got a counter. He's going to counterattack, but we're going to have base trade scenario. There's not really that much defense. That Templar pops out, but it has no energy. Mutas are going to soak up a lot of hits for the Lings. Drone Drill is going to prevent, the majority of the army from getting on top of the Sunken. He's going to have to focus down that Hydroden, which he does. That's going to allow the Zealots on top of him, but look how much damage these 5 Sunkens have done. They've dealt so much damage before the Zealots get onto any of the Sunkens. In fact, almost every single Zealot dies before they get on top of the Sunkens.
Yeah, Mutalists are just trying to buy some time, and now Guns are just dying, and now Mini is going to be losing the natural. We can see the supply gap is slowly turning into favor towards the Hero, and Hero did lose the hatchery and some amount of drone at the natural, but it doesn't really matter because Mini is just going to be turned out to be a 1-base play. Okay, that was the last storm where he wasted 8 Muta. Will be focus targeting on the Archon. I don't know whether that is the right decision making.
Well, he needs to get rid of that because that's a lot of splash damage, and he does. And now all that's left is 4 Zealots, 4 Goons versus still 5 hatch production actually. And critically on the minimap, you can see the Nexus has been killed for Mini. So he's on one base mining right now. This is it. He does have a big bank sitting at 700 minerals, but is it enough to actually push to victory here? Because that's what he's got to do. He's got to push to victory. DT's coming out.
The invisible mans are coming. And we are seeing Hero. I mean, Hero didn't really lose that much of an... he didn't really... Okay, I didn't know he would be having that 2 sunken, 3 sunken at the main, but does he have an overlord? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, he does have... He does have all the sunkens ready.
Yeah, it's just too many sunkens and too much air support. Mini, if he had something like maybe 7 more goons, put him at like 15 goons or so, I think he could actually win a fight. But he can't win this fight. The mutas are going to kill 2 goons before the Archon gets there in time. He may even pick off a Zealot, which he does. 11 mutas are doing so much damage.
And we are seeing the Muta just gonna be hurting Mini as much as he can. And now, okay, there's a Dark Archon now getting spotted. He won't, yeah, that Dark Archon will be just disappear instantly.
Yeah, he did lose 2 mutas though, but that was definitely a worthwhile trade for Hero, and both players are going to retake their natural, but Hero's definitely in a better position, and Mini can't move out because anytime he moves out, he risks just getting instantly killed by a counterattack from the mutas. So he's got to be content with just sitting here, and that's just going to allow Hero to start powering up again.
Yeah, that Guns are doing some great job here, and now the natural gate will be taken down. Doing the nice splash damage to the Archon and the Zealot random units, and now Zerglings are trying to surround the Archon, and Archon needs to survive, and yes, he does survive it.
Yeah, he survives for now, but he's almost at just 100 shields, so 2 volleys of mutas would take him down. DT comes into the natural. It is going to not die. It's going to hide at the top side of the map, or top side of the base, I mean, but should be taken down in just a second. We've got a 20 supply lead for Hero, 80 to 60. He's retaken his natural. That's a big drone cycle.
Yeah, drone cycle, and now slowly saturating. Now look at that. Like I said yesterday, he loves drone for some reason, and he's the guy who's really good at understanding the mechanism of how products should be playing, and he knows the right time of when exactly he really needs a drone pumping.
Yeah, and he just produced something like 12 to 15 drones, so that natural instantly gets saturated. I think Mini has to move out now. The Dark Archon almost has 100 energy, so he's going to have 1 Maelstrom. If he can catch the mutas, the standing army of Hero is something like 15 mutas and just lings. I mean, it's not that powerful if he can actually catch all the mutalisks. But if he can't, then I think... Oh, can he catch it? Oh, he gets half of the mutas, but he's not able to get the majority of them. The mutas that didn't get caught instantly go to the natural, pounce on these cannons.
And nicely taking down those 2 floating cannon, and that will force Mini to back up once again and have to wait another 100 energy to Maelstrom on those Muta. 7 Mutas will still survive, and that's a lot of Lurker X he is morphing into. I think Mini is just going to be falling behind in the game.
I think the Lurkers sealed the deal for Hero, because I didn't see a Robo anywhere, did you? I
No,
don't think he actually has Robo tech.
Yeah, probably in the next 1 or 2 minutes we will be seeing Mini's depressed face soon on a player cam, I believe. Yeah, no Robo as you mentioned here. He's just macroing really hard on a 5 gate maximum.
Yeah, so that means he's going to have to rely on Storms to take down these Lurkers. Also, he does have an Archon that can splash, but he'd have to like sack a Zealot and then splash the Zealot to get like the killing blow onto a Lurker. So this is really a rough spot for Mini. But Hero, who looked like he was behind, for half the game, just that counterattack dealt so much damage. And now he's in prime position to end up taking the victory here and moving into the winners match. But Mini not out of it just yet. He's going to continue to play on. He just doesn't have any money anymore. He's down 25 supply. Mutas are just endlessly harassing his natural. I expect them to come in again in just a second.
And we are seeing Hero's main base is going to be mined out. Hero's taking another expansion at the 9 o'clock. That is going to be his 4th base. robotic facility is finally going up, but that will take just millions of seconds to finish. And yeah, Mini just can't really do anything besides defending his home. And the mutants are just hurting the mineral line. Picked up about 3 or 4.
Yeah, and he can just sit on this high ground and not have to worry about it. And every time I look at that Nexus, it's not blinking. It now just started. The main wasn't blinking either. So Mini is literally down to something like 15 probes right now. That's it. He has no econ, and that's more than 15 drones just at the natural alone for Hero. The Maelstrom goes down, but it only catches 2 mutas, and the lurkers are just spread out, and that's going to deal a lot of damage, even though it's just 1.
It's so crazy how well Hero really loves to make drone. And once that 4th base being saturated, yeah, I can see that 4th base is just now being completed, and he's transferring the drone from the main base. And yeah, I think Hero's just gonna be doing the A move momentarily once he's done saturating.
Yeah, Hero could definitely, well, I don't know if he can A move, but he may be able to actually push through with an A move. Those Templars have banked up a lot of energy, so they have a lot of storm. So Hero does still need to be careful to not throw this, because Mini is taking a 3rd Nexus. If he can somehow miraculously stabilize the game, he will have 3 bases, but he's down 50 supply. This is such a hard position for him. He does have his power spike with the 2-1 upgrades.
Yeah, I guess Hero kind of wants to play safe here, because even if he knows he's having the huge lead, his main base is mined out, his 3rd expansion, not sure how much of the minerals are still remaining, but I guess he just does not want to take a risk and just throw his army away. And yeah, Hero is just taking more expansion.
Yeah, I think that's the smart move. You've got a huge lead. Protoss has high-tech units, which deal a lot of damage, a lot of AoE damage. No sense to just, you know, shove in there and take a fight you don't need to. That's a lot of goons. That is like 8 Templars. Not a lot of Zealots to support, though. We've got a flank from the back, tons of Lings and Lurkers. Goons, I don't think there's enough to deal with this, but look how much damage he dealt with the Storms on the Hydras on the left side. They're almost, well, half of them are almost all gone, but that is a massive Lurker field cutting off reinforcements.
And that is a lot of lurkers being barred, but all those High Templar and then Dark Archon just now disappears, and High Templars still survived, but I guess the Mini's 3rd expansion will be taken down, maybe not, because we are lacking with the High Templar and Hydraless cow, but the more Zergling, and Hydraless Flood is incoming. Does Mini have enough energy to use a couple more storms?
He does have 1 storm. I don't think the other one has a storm available, but look at that contain. He's got 4 lurkers set up, tons of hydras. He can't even transfer probes here. Also, Mini only has 1 observer, so if this observer dies, he has no vision anymore.
2 of the High Templars don't have enough energy, 65 energy remaining. Mini knows he cannot fight back anymore. He is tilted, and now we can see Mini taps out. Hero will be winning this game.
Yep, well done from Hero there. It really looked like it was Mini's game to take. The Zealots just dealt so much damage. They forced so many links. But the single Muta attack into the probe line killed so many probes, and then followed up with the counterattack, just gave Hero such an advantage. Also, that hatchery and Hydrogen sitting on top of the Sunkens were heroic. They soaked up so many hits. The Zealots did almost no damage in that attack.
Yeah, the 5 Sunkens with the 1 single hatchery and a Hydrogen just pretty much held up a lot of, it just bought a lot of time while he was just backstabbing with the Muta and Mass Zergling with the counterattack at the natural. And I'm not sure how he could have, maybe quite not sure how he can actually change the results differently if he has went for his army defending his natural instead of going for his the counterattack, because he had the huge lead in the early stage of the game, and he knows he should have known there's no Hydra, no Lurker upgrade whatsoever, but it was just too much of a risk that he took, but didn't work out well.
Yeah, we'll be going into a break, and then we'll be back with our winners match. It's Hero versus Royal, so it's going to be another ZVT. Oh, I forgot. Of course, we got the Hot Six commercial first. Well, if Mini had attacked the third base, do you think he could have taken that down? Like, there was not the crazy Sim City with the hatchery and Hydrogen there. We saw there were 4 Sunkens at the third base, but I think maybe he could have had success if he had attacked that position.
Yeah, I totally agree with your opinion because those 2 sunken colonies were at the. I bit my tongue. They were at the mineral line, and the other 2 sunkens were at the above end. They were pretty much exposed, and you can actually pretty much aim of and take down those early 2 sunk. The exposed 2 sunken colony first, and then last 2 remaining can be just taken down with a goon. But not sure, not sure why he chose to attack the natural.
Yeah, even if he did take down the third base, I mean, the game may have gotten weird anyways because Hero may have just gave up the third base and then started spamming Sunkens at his natural and then just committed to the counterattack, and it still would have been 2 base Zerg versus 1 base Protoss. Protoss would have had an insane army, but it still would have been 2 base. I'm not sure if it would have mattered exactly because Hero still would have been a fine position, I think. But is something to think about. I'm sure Minnie's watching the replay and analyzing and figuring out what he could have done differently. But as far as our winners match, we've got Hero versus Royal. You got any favorite in this particular matchup? It is a best of 3.
Well, I personally wanted to see Royal versus Mini because Royal is a guy who plays somewhat different than how Light does play. Because Light is the type of guy who likes to play super standard and just takes on everyone. But Royal, he likes to strategically taking down the opponent with like a proxy starport most of the time and using the dropship all of a sudden nowhere because as a product they always send out first 2 observers to figure out what exactly Terran is doing and checks. Oh, you don't have starport at main. Oh, I see your armor is spinning. Oh, you're just heavily just upgrading on your upgrade and getting your second factory, third factory, and so on. But then all of a sudden he's just getting the dropship out.
Yeah. Royal is sneaky. We'll be back in just a second. And we are back, and we're about to get into our winners match, which is going to be Royal versus Hero. Royal played quite well versus Action, but Action did have a decent comeback after the devastating amount of damage the Marine Medic did in the early game. I think Royal needs to be careful to manage his money because he actually was kind of low in resources despite how much of an advantage he has, and he's going to be going up against Hero, who, as you stated, he is Drone Man. He will have big eco in this matchup.
And Hero, he seems already ready to get to play. And I wonder what the maps are going to be. Butter it
we
is.
know. I was going to say we know for a fact that Arkanoid's getting banned, but it's actually Hero the one that banned Arkanoid, and Royal opted to ban Odyssey. I find it surprising that Hero banned Arkanoid because Terran players seem to really hate that for TVZ, but guess he didn't practice on it much or doesn't like it for whatever reason. But our players are ready. It's time for game 1 of our winners match best of 3. And in the bottom right in the pink, it is Hero. And in the top right in the teal, it is Royal. And in one of our recent games in TVZ, was it Royal versus Miso on the 2-player map on Odyssey? We did see Royal go for an 8 racks. So I wonder if Hero's thinking that, okay, maybe an 8 racks could be possible, and if he'll open with an early pool like what Action did on Vermeer.
Yeah, there one game you were mentioning about the Proxy 8 racks and an Odyssey. That can be one of the cases, but maybe I might be able to understand why he didn't want it to play on Odyssey, because Odyssey we have seen Shine has gone for those weird strategy with the super fast Guardian Hydra build, and conceptually he won the game, but he just threw the game so hard that he wasn't able to win the game against Light. And probably Royal does want to play against Hero in the same situation, same game scenario, and he just wants to play one single 2-player map, which is Butter. Oh, wait a minute, this is 8-8.
Whoa! Oh, okay, well, it was an 8 racks, but I was not expecting this. The 8-8, right? I think it's an 8 depot also. Yes. This is an absurd build. Now, what is he aiming for with this? You don't see this often.
Well, the thing of this 8-8 build is whenever you're doing 8-8, you have to send out another SCV to go for another proxy building, not just a forward barracks. And I'm curious why Royal he didn't. Well, that's a lot of SCV cut. Only 8 factory. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, it's not an 8 depot. It's an 8 factory. This I've only seen a couple times. Last is the person that I saw this from. This is just an absurdly fast factory. This is a 2-minute factory. That's 30 seconds faster than a 12 factory. It's only 20 seconds faster than like a 10-10-10. But the goal of this is to prevent the drone from getting a sunken down. If the sunken gets down, Zerg wins. But if there's no sunken, the Vulture Marine count just can't be stopped, and Zerg's in real trouble. Now, Zerg's going to come in here and see, well, maybe he'll see. He's got to not attack this depot. If he comes in and sees the drone count or the SCV count, he should know that this is an 8-8-8. Okay, the SCV has to survive in order to buy some time, but that single drone did not actually back up. I like how here didn't go back home to figure out whether there's a wall at the net or whatnot. But the SCV is about to fall. Okay, maybe that wasn't intention or whatnot, but now the Vulture production is on the way.
Yeah, and unbeknownst to Hero, he thinks it's just a regular 8 racks. That's not the case. Well, now if he's paying attention to the drone, seeing 5 SCVs total, that's it. He knows what it is now. But the sunken, I'm not sure if it's going to complete. The Vulture's out, or it should be out. It's coming. 4 Lings trying to buy time. He desperately has to save this. Now, what Terran needs to do is get the sunken down to 100 health, and then he can one-shot the sunken. But I don't know if he's going to do that. The SCVs are trying to do that. They're trying to get it down. He's going to get it down.
He got it down.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
the
just
Vulture needs to be
barely.
attention. 5 hit away, 5 HP remaining. Now that single SCB will be repairing, and Hero does not have the extractor, and now Hero is in a big time trouble. Only mineral unit, which is drone and Zergling only.
Yeah, he has no speed at all, and I've never seen a Zerg actually drone sunk in their main. And we also don't see it here, so it's 2 Vultures versus non-stop Lings, but we know Terran players are so good, they can just micro this forever. And this might be Royal taking this game. The SCV finally falls, but the problem is that the Vultures are still holding strong. They can run into the main now, and there's nothing to stop them.
Yeah, 3 Vultures are sneaking in. Hero, we can see from the camera view, he's not happy about dealing against this 8-8 build here. Yeah, he's just trying to get more Zergling out, but once he's done with the Zergling micro, he does not have any income to use any of the larvae. Yeah, now what will he be doing?
Oh, I would be so pissed if I was Hero, because you watch the replay and this guy literally had 3 SCVs mining minerals. That's it. Oh my god, he almost catches the Vultures. The problem is he just doesn't have the damage. Does he? Does he? Did he catch it?
Well, he caught one, but the one last remaining, 35 HP remaining, with the 71 mineral resource remaining for Hero, he can't really do anything here. He's so desperate to take down the Vulture, but 4 hits away, 20 HP remaining, 3 hit.
He needs... Oh, he's not going to get it. He's down to no workers now. I think it's just 1 in the main, and there it is. GG. That is a frustrating way to watch. I mean, it doesn't get more all-in from Terran. This is comparable to like 4 pool levels of all-in from Zerg. That would tilt the hell out of me if I was Hero.
I love it. I really love how he's kind of stylish player, just like how Action often does, and it's just so unexpected. I mean, he does play standard, but he doesn't only play standard. He plays something cheesy or proxy building that you will never expect, and it's just so much of stress to play in a best of 1 series. I mean, if you're in a position playing best of 1 series, you have to eliminate like some possibility and just have to go for it and play the game, but Hero just fell into it.
Yeah, we talked about how Hero looked calm all day long. You can tell that he is annoyed right now. I'm sure he's thinking he really wants to kill this guy and get revenge. But yeah, this is what makes Royal dangerous. He's willing to make plays like this. He's not just going to play standard all the time. I have to say, I've never seen 8-8-8 in a pro match, only in like ladder games and VODs from players like last. Let's see what Royal has planned in game 2. It's going to be Nemesis. And in the top left, down 0-1, it is Hero, and in the bottom left, or in the bottom right, he should feel great after game 1, it is Royal. And he's got Nemesis, and this is a map where you can just wall off your natural. If I was him, I would definitely think about doing that and just try and play a big macro game.
Yeah, I wonder what exactly he would like to do, but maybe there might be still one possibility that he might gonna go for. Okay, there's the one guy thinking and saying the next player who will be advancing will be Royal. He's pretty much saying, and we are seeing one SCV sneaking out. That is going to be a 9 depot, I believe, rooting for Royal once again.
Yeah, it is going to be the depot for you Terran players out there that want to wall your natural. You send your SCV when you've got 48 minerals. That means it'll get there just in the nick of time. If you want to wall your main, you send it at 56. Just a subtle thing, subtle optimization you can think about. So we knew it was going to be the depot at the natural. And we always talk about how Nemesis is very blockchain-esque, but because there are those eggs and those assimilators in the center of the map, you know, those mid bases are not completely walled off. So Zerg cannot just instantly take a third base. They do have to be fearful of Marine Medic coming from the center of the map, potentially busting them. But we do have an early pool, and this could be a 3-hatch opener, just like we saw Action pull out on Vermeer.
Wow, I didn't. I thought the 5 o'clock location your Marine's supposed to be coming out to the outside, but I guess he shifted that first depot to the right side and then now placed that barracks all the way to the right side there. So now the Marine will be popping out inside. I really like how he studies off so much of every single map really well and just all kinds of strategy. Now he's playing something standard, but look at that. Terran's vision, no scout whatsoever versus pull first with the 2 depot wall already.
Yeah, and so Terran's not going to take any damage here unless there's some weird hole that Lings can fit through, but I'm looking at the wall. It looks pretty perfect to me. And the drone is doing a lot of damage to that SCV. Did it actually see the command center though?
No, that is not a command center. That's a barracks.
Oh, it's not? That is a barracks. You're right. So we're going to have 2 barracks on 1 base. Oh, he lost it.
Yeah, that's a 2 barracks. Wasn't in range.
Yeah, he missed it. So he has no idea that this is actually a 1 base. However, I think the Lings, if they attack the depot, could see it. Maybe it's just barely out of vision. Maybe that's exactly why he did this particular wall.
And now he can actually, there's another mineral field where you can click and move out at the 6 o'clock. And now he's going to start finding out where exactly he's located at. And there's one unlucky part for Royal would be, this is not a horizontal or vertical matchup. This is a cross spawn, and whenever it's a cross spawn, the rush distance is nearly almost like a 40 seconds distance. And that will give Hero a lot of time to recover and put down the sunken colony on time.
Yeah, he should be able to get the sunken up in time, and it is not going to be a 3-hatch from Hero. It is 2-hatch tech. So this is more standard opener, and the SCV is not going to get in. Overlord moving into position, but I don't think he can actually get into a position to see the natural. So Hero needs to get some vision out on the map, because I'm looking at what vision he actually has right now. He has no idea that Marines could be moving at any moment. He only has vision on the left side.
Yeah, we are seeing Royal finally lifting up his barracks and moving out with the 2 Marine. That Overlord is not in range. Now that Overlord is coming down, will he see the medic? Will he see the medic? No, the medic is not at the edge of the, I don't think he saw it because he was busy checking at the scouting SCV and try to caught off guard. But look at that, he didn't get to see. Overlord saw it, but Hero didn't get to see it.
This could be over. He's gonna think to himself, what the hell is this? 7 Marines are already at my base. He doesn't even have stim. He stims for it because he doesn't even have speed on these Lings. This is 4 Lings trying to fight 7 Marines with 2 medics behind it. It's impossible to hold. Drones need to get kills on those hurt Marines. They end up getting 1, but this is it. You can see Hero's already accepted his fate. GG, and Royal wins the winners match in like 10 minutes.
Glad to see Royal making it into round of 8 once again. And one of the audience who was holding the poster, ASL Season 14, Royal. And I wonder how well he's gonna be doing in this ASL journey.
And this is why it's so important to scout at high level, because they're not a one-trick pony. They don't just play macro all the time. I even saw the minimap and I thought it was command center. It's a barracks. So Hero just got completely mind gamed, not just in game 1 but also game 2, and Royal makes it out easily in first place. And now I'm thinking about Mini talking about getting second place in his group. He already lost to Hero, and now he's going to face off versus 2 Zergs, or a face off guaranteed versus potentially, no, he has to face 2 Zergs because he's in the losers match, so he's in real trouble of being eliminated too.
ASL Season 14 Round of 16, this is Group D. The first player who will be making it into Round of 8, that will be Royal. Congratulations.
감사합니다.
와, 2시즌 만에 다시 한번 8강으로 올라온
And
김지성 선수입니다.
it was about 2 season break for you that you were not in Round of 8.
올라갈 거라고 좀 예상을 하셨나요?
Did you expect that you'll be making it into Round of 8 with this short time?
와.
He didn't want it to be cocky with his decision making and play style, and just things didn't work out well for him.
네네.
So conceptually, you won those best of 3 against Hero. You went for 8-8 and then Proxy 8 Factory against Hero on the border, and then 2 barracks on second game, Nemesis.
이거는 사실 오늘
How
준비한 건
and
아닌데
why did you prepare? How did you prepare on this strategy?
제 8배럭을 의식하는 걸 봐가지고 제가 이제 8배럭을 뭐 안 할 거라고 생각을 할 것 같아서 했는데
So your royal is saying that
통한 것 같아요.
이렇게 상대의 허를 찌르는 재기발랄한
he kind of thought that he kind of thought that Hero probably thinks Royal likes to play somewhat like a standard most of the time, so had a feeling that he won't be going for full first build
심리전의 일종이었는데
because he showed
오버풀하고 뭘 스타팅 3회 팔 것까지
he showed a standard build against Action in the first game against first game against Action with a standard build, so he was pretty much guessing Hero won't be expecting of his Proxy 8 racks into a 8 factory, so it just things worked out, and he wanted to play the mind game and decided to go for the 2 racks build in the second game, and everything just synced up well with his strategy.
오늘 저는 알고 있었는데
He kinda knew
오늘 저그전을 하고 싶었거든요.
Royal really wanted to play his TVZ, had about 70% chance to make it into round of 8.
8강 다전제에서 만날 수 있는
And now you're in round of 8. You get to play the best of 5 series.
자, 이영환 선수,
Who do you like to face?
선수가 있습니다.
Shine, Soki. You said you like to play TVZ.
공족전 아니면 저그전을
There are
만날
2 Zergs are waiting at the 2 Zergs
역시
and 1 Terran
김지성
is waiting in the
선수는
second player.
유리하게 흘러가고 있지 않나라는 생각이 드는데 본인은 어떠세요?
And what do you think about this
2위로 올라가면
round of 8 group draw that will be done after this group D?
제가 만나기 다 싫어하는 상대들이었는데
네.
그래서 오늘 꼭 1등으로 올라가겠다고
A lot of
했는데
players,
거기서 이제
they don't like to play against Royal,
대진만 잘
he's saying.
어떤 선수를 만나고 싶으신가요?
But if he has to choose,
이영환 선수.
he would like
이영환
to
선수를 만나고
play against Shine.
싶다. 과연 김지성 선수의 바람대로 대진이 만들어질지도 기대가 됩니다. 하지만 그 어떤
So let's get
상대를
to
만나도
we'll
지금
figure out
김지성
whether
선수의
that
기세라면
your
지금의
fortune will
자신감이라면
work
사실
or not.
전제
Your luck will
김지성
work
선수
or
강한
not.
모습을 보여줄 수 있을 것 같거든요. 아마 팬분들도 저와 같은 생각을 가지고
A lot
계실
of
것
fans
같습니다.
and audience
멋진 경기
are
보여주실 거라는 각오를
expecting
주실
to
거예요.
see you to play more better and great performance in round of 8. Any last word? So Royal said Royal saying he chose he would like to play against Shine, but he doesn't really care. He doesn't mind if even if he plays against Soki. He likes to enjoy his ASL journey. He will try his best to show great performance in the round of 8.
본인의 커리어 하이를 달성할 수 있을지 기대하도록 하겠습니다.
We're excited and
축하드립니다.
have some expectation to see you making a better career of this season. And thank you for the interview. And we got to see the ASL event. Ask ASL mainstream platform. Go there. Ask a question to your favorite player. If your comment gets selected, you get the ASL mini fan. There's also the winners prediction, Africa TV esports page. You get the gem, and if you log in, you get the gem. And if you are betting with the gem, get more gem. Exchange the gem with something like a coffee or graphics card or maybe computer parts or whatsoever. And there's also the losers bracket who are waiting. That will be Action and Mini.
Yep, and that's going to be coming up next. We'll be going into a break, and then we'll find out whose ASL run is done. So don't go anywhere. We are back already, and we're going into action versus Mini momentarily. Mini had a good game versus Hero, but in the end, the counterattack's a little bit too much to overcome, so he ends up falling. And this is going to be the first time in a while, I feel like, we're going to see action Zerg versus Protoss.
And we can get to see. I thought Mini was going to be putting that ASL jacket on, but he actually leave his jacket on the chair. And action. He's smiling. He seems ready. I mean, both of the players were pretty much smiling for some reason. I mean, they were pretty much chit-chatting on the lobby. Maybe some guy will be doing the cheese and pretty much doing the mind game, like bluffing each other, maybe something like that. And now we can get to see Mini's ready as well. And let's get the ban.
Well, I was going to say I want to see Arkanoid get out, and surprisingly, it does. We're going to have Arkanoid. We're actually going to have all three of the new maps in ASL, or uncommon maps. We've got Neo Arkanoid, then Nemesis, and then Odyssey. Let's get into game one. Okay, in the bottom left, our green Zerg. It is action. And in the bottom right, our yellow Protoss. It is Mini. And we saw this map yesterday. Snow had an interesting opener, but in the end, Zerg still picked him apart with a 2-hatch Ling Hydra play. I'm sure Mini has kept that in the back of his mind. He needs to account for that. I wonder how he'll open here.
Yeah, like I said from yesterday, I was saying something about like the previous ASL map, like Inner Coven, where the something like a building was blocking the path to place down your base correctly, and a lot of the Protoss and Zerg players decided to put the hatchery right next to it, and having a long distance mining to have some economic lead in the early stage of the game. I wonder if Mini will be doing that way, or will do the same as how Snow has done in yesterday.
Yeah, we definitely could see something like that, but you just always have to remember there's 3 entryways on Arkanoid. You don't necessarily have to attack through the center or the bottom side or wherever. Like, you've got to be able to defend all the positions, and it may just be too much area to defend. But we don't see any early pool from action here. He's going to go into a 12 hatch, and he's decided that he's going to put his hatch at top middle, or top left I mean. So this may be the first time we actually get past the early stages of the game on Arkanoid.
Yeah, hatchery is about to be being placed down. Like I said, how the map Inner Coven was played, and his action is doing the same way. So he's not interested of taking down those neutral building. Maybe he can just put down the macro hatchery later on and have that incoming, the resource fixed. And we are seeing Cybernetics Void placed at the Protoss Temple.
And action did put down his pool. He actually went over 200 minerals, and I thought for a second we may have 3 hatch before pool, but not going to be the case. And this is a 1 base from Mini, so he's teching fast, just like what Snow did yesterday, but this time around he's going to be on the fortunate end that action's not getting aggressive.
So that single pro will just pretty much tickling on that creep, but we are seeing action. It's just going to be taking 3 base instantly. Interesting, but no extractor yet. No extractor yet.
Yeah, that's the key thing, is he has no extractors, so how's he going to defend the Stargate that's coming? This is probably going to be a Corsair. I would love to see a Scout, but I don't think that's going to happen. However, you never know with Mini. I mean, he's just the crazy wild man in the Protoss race. We do have those cocoons falling, and he will be taking his Nexus, I imagine, in just a second.
I heard you need about 4 Zerglings to take down those creep really fast, and I wonder when exactly action will be getting. And I think that just by looking at the minimap, there are the 4 Zerglings just now popped out and clearing up those creep. And action still hasn't taken the extractor yet, so I guess it's just gonna be I guess it's just gonna be putting lots of macro hatchery and just overcome in terms of 1 base versus 3 base Zerg here.
Yeah, this is a bit weird. We're at 3:45. There's still no gas. We may have like a 4-minute gas, I guess, potentially even a 5-minute gas. I mean, this seems a bit excessive, but you can tell he's planned for this. He's going evolution chamber to defend the Sayer. So that's how he's decided he's going to actually make sure that he doesn't take a lot of damage here. But as I stated, I mean, Protoss could build a scout. He could get some kills, I guess, with it. It's unlikely, but he could do that. When he comes in here, he's going to be surprised to see that this guy has absolutely no air defense.
Yeah, that single Corsair. Eventually we'll get the single overlord, but that won't hurt him so much because only 100 mineral cost that he's losing. And yeah, Action is finally getting the extractor up, mining the gas, and that is about total 4 hatchery. So 4 hatchery Hydra build, most likely, I'm gonna be assuming.
Yeah, we could see it, and unfortunately for Action, he is going to lose the second overlord. He even has a third overlord out in the map. And we do have fast robo. So I guess Mini's thinking the same thing. Okay, this guy's going to build a lot of Hydras quickly. We need to get something to deal with them at multiple locations. And he's decided that he's going to put down the shuttle. And, oh, he's going to put down double robo. So we're going to have a lot of Reavers.
Interesting Minis build, what we are seeing. Maybe he figured out there was no lair tech. Maybe I'm trying to understand. From yesterday's game, Snow showed us he was going for the Corsair into Dark Templar build, but then Queen just pretty much overwhelmed with the number of Hydralists and then slowly sent out the Overlord. And Mini, I guess he just does the scout with the 2 Corsair only and plays down the Robo and scouts what exactly Zerg is doing. And once he figures out there was no lair tech whatsoever, or even if Zerg was going for the Spire, then he will cancel the Robo and maybe go for more Corsair production or whatnot. But I guess this is going to be a somewhat typical playstyle what we're going to be seeing from Mini here with the Speed Shuttle.
Yeah, and I realize Action has a lot of drones, but he actually needs to be careful here because he doesn't have any defense. I mean, if the Spore dies, he doesn't even have air defense anymore to defend the Corsairs. I don't see a Hydra out anywhere. I don't think he's expecting this shuttle to be this fast, and it's already at his 3rd base. He does have a lot of production, like I said, but there's nothing to deal with even 4 Zealots.
4 Zealots will bite some time, and now those 2 Robo probably going to be making double Reaver. And while those 4 Zealots are buying some time, he will be loading up those 2 more Reaver, and I don't think Action will have the range upgrade anytime soon. Not anytime soon. I mean, he's still having some trouble holding against these 4 Zealot.
Yeah, and if he can pop that Spore, all of a sudden the Corsairs can reign supreme over these Overlords. I realize it's only 2 Corsairs, but it would still be annoying. All those drones are clumping up, and that shuttle's moving into the 3rd base. You gotta evacuate.
Well, I guess that scare shot does connect. I thought it was not going to be connecting to those drones. And now the hatchery is now exposed. And look at that, he's just targeting the behind one, so it does the splash damage to the correct place the hatchery as well. And he's efficiently trading off the damage. And is that no, that's not a speed shuttle yet. Okay, yeah, that's not a speed shuttle yet, but he's looking for a sweet spot for the attack move.
Action might be dead. He's supply blocked versus Reavers that can, sit over this high ground. They're not in any danger. Really? Okay, well, that may have been an overstep, but the Reavers get huge hits. He's killing all the Hydras with just 2 Reavers.
Oh.
He gets the shuttle snipe. That's a big loss, but Zealot's into the main at the same time.
1 hit
Oh my
away,
God.
and now Drone is trying to do some work.
He ends up, but there's a Zealot in the main. It's gotten 6 kills, and he's lost his macro hatches at bottom right. Mini hasn't taken any damage. He still has his Sayers alive. Sure, he lost the Reavers in the shuttle, but he's coming in with another Reaver. This time around, it's only 5 Hydras to defend. Remember, he couldn't kill 2 Reavers with something like 12 Hydras, so how's he going to stop this?
I find his playstyle so dirty. I mean, we know this is a conceptual map, but this speed shuttle is just so annoying. I mean, Action has to be defending both of the location at the same time, and now that Reaver Scarab Shot does connect on that Hydralisk, and Action, what do you have to defend? Okay, that's an hatchery. I thought that was a spire. Oh, there's a spire behind of the mineral line.
The spire behind the mineral line, but I don't think we're going to get to that point because it's double shuttle now. Action just has no vision, so he has no idea where the units are actually going to unload. This is 2 Reavers now. With even just a single Zealot, it's going to soak up so many hits. That's also a choke point right there.
Oh my god.
That shuttle has full health. These Reavers, they just don't die. Okay, as I say that, of course, one of them dies. But look at supply scan. It's 75 to 43.
Well, now that Scarab will be connecting towards to maybe the Sunken Colony. Sunken Colony needs to be taken down. It is taken down. That's a random Overlord speed.
Yeah, Overlords come to get vision, but they just get melted by 3 Corsairs. Look at those Sairs. They have so many kills. They have +1 weapon. This is it. GG's coming out any moment from Action. He's supply block. He can't even build mutas if he wants to. And even if he could, he doesn't have the gas.
That speed shuttle is definitely annoying. We are seeing another speed shuttle incoming from that 6 o'clock location. That's a low HP shuttle. I don't know how many Reaver he has, but 2 Reavers. Oh my god.
GG comes out and Mini gets a quick win there. That's definitely a confidence booster for him. And Action's got to be questioning himself. Why get into a macro game on Arkanoid? Because we've seen all the Zergs so far play aggressive on this map and easily take wins, and it was just way too much macro from Action. I mean, he what was it, a 4-minute extractor, and he got punished really hard.
Yeah, something that I noticed from I play Protoss sometimes casually, and something that I noticed was with your first Corsair figures out what Zerg is doing and not having the lair tech, or having a slow lair tech, then you can instantly just do the shuttle style, like how Snow has done or Mini has done, like how he was doing in a Neo Arkanoid, and that just pretty much killed himself.
Yeah, I wonder what Actions come up with here on Odyssey, because this is his last lifeline. He must get a victory here, otherwise he's eliminated. Okay, in the top right, our Zerg, he must win. It is Action. And in the bottom left, looking to move on into the Siders match, it is Mini. Now thinking back to the Vermeer game of Mini versus Hero, that Vermeer choke had, a lot of surface area, and we saw double gateway. Odyssey has a lot of surface area at the natural too. I wouldn't be surprised to see another double gateway opener.
Yeah, maybe he might. There might be a chance that Mini might gonna go for something like Corsair into a Reaver playstyle, how he was doing in the Metaverse. And when the Metaverse came out, I've seen on a spawn pang Mini playing against Queen doing the Corsair Robo build into Corsair Reaver playstyle, and there might be still a chance that Mini might gonna do it because there's a behind expansion where he can take easily, and we are seeing Action starts off with 9 pull.
Alright, so we've got a really aggressive opener from Action here, and again fast. Okay, it does get canceled. I was like, man, these Zergs, they're really loving the fast gas, but it is going to be a cancel. And I would love to see the Reaver play. I would love to see a Metaverse style, because the games that I did see of Mini on Metaverse, he did play Reavers. There was this game of him versus Effort. It went split map. It was 50 minutes. There was Devourers. There was Arbiters. There was literally every high-tech unit in the game pulled out from both sides. So I would love to see that, especially since this map has double gas in your main. He's going to have so much gas available to him.
And now that single probe is trying to buy some time and not letting Action to put down the hatchery. And that look at the drone micro and placing down the pylon nicely. That drone is chasing all the way, turns down to 2 HP, 1 hit away.
Oh,
So
might get it.
annoying.
Oh, that is a big win for Action, not just because it limits scouting, but also because if there was zealot pressure, you know, Probe does a lot of DPS. We know that this was not actually a gateway opener, it was Forge, but Action doesn't know that just yet. So that was just fantastic for him to clear that out, and it forced obviously another Probe to go scout.
Yeah, this type of build I've seen. I feel it's going to be very comfortable for Action because it just pretty much forced me to do the Forge expansion. And whenever you're facing against a Forge expansion, you can either do 973 or just classic layer playstyle and just pumps up lots of drone. And because we can see Mini's gateway is going to be that slow and no simulator whatsoever until the second pylon goes up.
Well, he's decided he's going to take a really far base. Now, Odyssey is not a map that I've played very much at all. I think I've only played it once or twice. But that base only has one ramp, I think. So if he even puts a couple sunkens there, he's going to have a lot less surface area to worry about as he would like taking mid-right, for example. So I think that's a smart base to take. Meanwhile, you have Gateway coming down, Gas coming down, Nexus coming down for Mini, and that's fast Hydra dead.
I was correct. So yeah, here's something that I heard when I was playing Pro League with Mini and Effort. They were telling me this the Zerg mindset is that if the cannons is placed in a horizontal line or like a vertical line, it's much easier to bust it. Like on Butter, you can see the photon cannon line is in a horizontal line, then the cannon actually shoots somewhat farther than what you actually expect, and also hard to take down the Forge and the Gateway. But if it's placed down in a vertical line like that, Gateway is exposed, Forge is also exposed. 973 becomes much stronger than how it has been done.
Alright, well, I guess the question after that is Action going to commit to an all-in 973, or is he going to turn it into something like a 9734 that we saw, you know, Queen revolutionize for a long time? Single Zealot and Probe into the mineral line almost takes down that drone, but the Lings pick off the Probe instantly, so this was really well done from Action so far. Zealot trying to get into the main at will, but it's already below half health, so he should be taken out quite quickly, but he does critically scout the Hydra Den.
Well, that is a good news for Mini here, confirming there was a Hydra Den at the main.
Now I wonder what Action is going to do with this, because obviously he knows that Protoss knows. So now we get into the real mind game battle. I know that you know that I'm doing this particular build, so I'm not going to do it. Or maybe he will do it, because Mini might be thinking like, okay, he's not going to do it anymore. So we'll see what Action wants to do with this Hydra Den. His Zealots come in here. See, there's no Hydras being pumped out yet, so it kind of seems like it might be a fake. Actually, that's a drone, and that means that Action may actually just be transitioning out of this Hydra Den opener. Oh, never mind, there's a Hydra.
Well, I thought it was going to be the 973 because I saw there were 4 drones at the 5 o'clock location, but now I guess he just wants to make a couple of Hydralists and maybe turns into a macro playstyle like how Queen was doing it maybe. But well, let's take a look here. I don't know how much of the drones are still, but okay, Corsair is finally out since Mini knows what Action is doing, so he's not going to be sending that first Corsair all the way to Action's main base. So he wants to call up the first Overlord. Maybe he just wants to get the single Dark Templar ASAP and push that Hydralisk away. No, okay, never mind. There's no Citadel done yet.
Yeah, Citadel pretty much just started. A lot of times you see the Templar Archive already done. This is a really late Citadel, and that means that the Gateway will fall. Forge might fall too. Maybe not. We'll wait and see. We've got 3 Hydras defending these 2 Corsairs. Meanwhile, behind this, it is not an all-in Hydra play. It is going to be Spire follow-up, and more macro hatches coming in for Action.
Wow, that +1 kicks in and at the 7-minute mark. So Mini, I think even if he lost off single gateway, and he also didn't invest that much of a mineral for additional photon cannon besides having that four photon cannon at the net, and I don't think he has the intel of how fast the Spartak is. So this is going to be the time that Mini needs to figure out.
We do have a 6 Zealot move out, but remember, the Citadel just finished, so these Zealots shouldn't have speed, I don't think, for at least 30 more seconds. But I didn't see much defense at the third base. What was that, 5 Hydras? Yeah, 5 Hydras and a colony. It's not even a morph sunken yet, and this is 7 Zealots. They do have +1, so they are quite strong, but Hydra's going to buy a lot of time sitting in this particular position. Also, drone drill coming in. That's fantastic to bug out the AI.
Wow, drones are slowly getting picked up as well. Nicely drone drilling, but that ramp has been opened up now. Okay, I think he needs to make or bring more Hydralists to defend, but these 3 Corsairs are still surviving and picking up you over there one by one. And now Action, you gotta do something.
Yeah, he needs to do something. Actually, I thought there were no Hydras there with the Overlords, but in fact there were 2. So the Sayre's not able to get any Overlord kills, and he does back off. But the Sayres I don't think saw that actually Mutas are out in the map right now. There are 4 Sayres out, but it's not, you know, an insane amount. It's not 7. They don't have +1. So Mutas can deal some damage, but I saw that the cannons are much better timed compared to the hero game, so he shouldn't really take much damage here.
Well, that's quite funny how Mini is mining his natural gas with the 5 probe for some reason. There are lots of Corsairs are going to be defending at the main, but maybe Action just wants to show off maybe 3 or 5 maximum Muta and then have about like a 12 Scourges and slowly transitioning into Mass Hydralisk.
Yeah, we could see that. We could also see Lurkers. We've seen somewhat fast Lurker follow-ups in a lot of the games. We've got 6 Corsairs out on the map. Muta's trying to bully these Zealots, but they're actually going to be bullied by these Corsairs, and that's 5 Zealots into the third base that no longer has that sunken. Actually 7 Zealots with +1 weapon. It seems like he's found an opening. There's really not that much defense for the Zealots. The drones are going to help out a lot, but is there just too many Zealots? I guess the answer is no. Oh, it is. There is too many Zealots right now.
Well, now I'm trying to understand what Action really wants to do in this game. I mean, he went for the 9s. He went for the Hydra build. I was expecting of seeing him like 973 or 9734, but with this like freestyle Zergs is not working out well here. Okay, he's finally getting the Lurker Egg, but does he have enough Hydralists to defend against these number of Corsairs? And Corsairs
Oh my gosh.
are gonna be deleting, erasing the Overlord.
This is all of the Overlords too. Every Lurker that gets morphed means that they're not Hydras, not helping to support these Overlords. The Scourge come in at the nick of time to limit the amount of damage. That could have been devastating to Action, but he does limit the losses, and actually he's still in a good spot. Look at the supply, it's 70 to 76. This is just fine. DT's moving into bottom right. That's going to be denied, and actually I think Action's in a pretty darn good spot. He's got 6 hatch, a good unit comp, Lurkers out on the map, Stairs didn't do much damage. He does need to be careful with those Overlords though, because they're really low on health now.
Yeah, now Mini is just working on that SimCity, taking down one of the photon cannon because it was blocking the path of a High Templar and maybe the giant units like a Dragoon. And Mini is already mining the 3rd gas at the main. +1 armor just now completed, and now he's also getting the +2 armor most likely. And because of the super fast Lurker switch from Action, I don't know how he can actually contain Mini here. I mean, because he doesn't have any map control here.
Yeah, I don't think Action's going to be able to contain. I think he's just going to have to be content with playing defensively and take bases, and that's exactly what he's doing. That's a sneaky DT off at the right side. If Action's not paying attention, he may lose an entire drone line, because I also see there's no Overlord there. So We'll have to keep an eye on the mini-map. But supplies are really close for both sides, and generally that's a good sign for Zerg. I wonder... Oh, I was gonna...
Yeah, no units at the main, no units at the natural, but have some units at the main. Maybe Action is waiting until the maybe a random like a Dark Templar, like a shuttle drop will come. All of a sudden, he wants to defend from it. And here are the mass Goon production for Mini, with the mass High Templar production as well. Splitting up some Hydralisk and Lurker everywhere, and this is going to be a split map scenario, East versus West.
Yep, the goon count is getting really, really high. I think it's upwards of 14 to 15 right now. I didn't see the timing of those Templars, but I have a feeling they've got multiple storms available to them, and we may see a move out. Remember, mini rush +1, so actually his 2-1 power spike could be kicking in momentarily. That's a lot of lurkers and a lot of hydras though, and there is a lot of high ground, there's a lot of bridges, so it's going to be hard to attack into. Oh, there's the DT!
Yeah, one thing that I'm kind of curious about this decision making, because if he's attacking all the way to the east side at the 4th o'clock, that's just a high ground terrain and so narrow that I don't know how well he can actually break it through. Okay, the High Templar will get sniped. One of the High Templars will get sniped, but now goons are coming. Where's it? Okay, there's an observer I wasn't able to see.
Yeah, that was good control there from Mini. Did a lot of damage to the Hydras, pops the Lurker, and only loses one
Oh
Templar in the
no!
process. That has full hell, or full energy, I mean. So he loses a double storm, and then he's forced to blow another storm. So 3 storms for just 4 Hydras. That's a really good trade for Action.
Yeah, this is the typical hotkey we can see from Mini, or most of the Protoss player. They always have that good High Templar hotkey separately, and Zealots are on a hold position, so Zealots just don't get sucked in. And we can see he slowly try to peel off and kill a couple of the lurkers, and now +2 just now kicks in. Do you have enough storm energy for the storm? And yes, you do. One nice storm on a lurker, but didn't really kill that much of a Hydralisk. But these number of a High Templar is so many.
That is so many Templars. And actually, it's not +2 armor, it's +2 weapon. So he is not going to have, you know, those tanky Zealots, tanky goons. He's going to have a little bit more firepower. But I don't think he can continue to attack. It's way too many Hydras, way too many Lurkers. Maybe looping around to the natural could be a better option, and I think that is a better option. There's no Lurkers there at all. But one thing Mini did lose was he lost all of his Corsairs, so that's going to make this attack much easier to defend, even though that's a ton of Storm, so many Templars.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about from yesterday's game, and because Snow was breaking that small terrain with the high ground where Queen was having the advantage, and now we can see Mini is just gonna be having this open field and just going for the attack move, and I guess he just saw the counter attack with the Overlord incoming at the main base, and does he actually know? And Action is not paying attention of his Hydralisk, and the natural is exposed, and also Mini's main base is exposed as well. Photon cannon are taken down.
Yeah, the cannons are going down in the main, but I think that there's too much Protoss to be stopped, whereas I don't think that there's enough Zerg in the main for Mini to be crippled. Now, that's one way to cripple him, if this Lurker can kill some probes, but it was focusing that Lurker, so I don't think it actually, or that Zealot, so I don't actually think it got any probe kills. That's a bit unfortunate for Action, but he lost his natural. He still has his 3rd and 4th base, but that is just so much Protoss. He's going to get into the main and wipe that out.
A +2 weapon of both of the players with the +1 armor advantage for Mini.
Oh no.
Storming on top of the drone, 15 kills. Another group of army coming for Action, but Action taps out because he cannot hold up his main base. And Mini survives.
Wow, the big loop around hitting at the moment when Action was loading up drops, so he wasn't able to use his full army, and that's all Mini needed to seal the deal. So that means Action is eliminated, and we're going to have a rematch of earlier. It's going to be Mini versus Hero in our Deciders match.
Yeah, Mini in the pre-interview he said he's very confident in a best of 3 series on winners, losers, and then a final match. And I guess he's right about it. He was feeling somewhat uncomfortable, or maybe not having that much of a great shot to play best of 1 series against Hero in the Vermeer map. But in this best of 3 with the ASL new map, he's showing such a great performance.
Yeah, and even though he lost versus Hero, he looked quite strong, so I think he could get revenge. But we'll be going into a break, and we'll be back with our final series of the day. I think. I think we're going to a break.
Well, I thought we were gonna go into the break, but I guess they keep showing off Minnie's face.
Well, who wouldn't want to see that, right? So we're gonna have revenge. We're not gonna have Vermeer. You think he'll let Arkanoid get through again?
I don't remember what maps are remaining for the decider match, but yeah, we'll be coming back and see what maps are going to be get banned.
revenge match from earlier. It's going to be Hero versus Mini again as our final series in the round of 8. I want to see Arkanoid get in again, if that's possible, because I want to see if Hero will play it any differently than Action or if he'll play another big macro game. But Mini, his PVZ's been on point all day long, even though he ended up losing versus Hero earlier. I think there were opportunities for him to win. And you got to remember, Royal tilted the hell out of Hero earlier, so not sure of Hero's mental state right now.
For some reason, we just got to see Hero was smiling all of a sudden, and now we get to see Mini is taking off the ASL jacket for another reason. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just feeling confident. And he doesn't really need to wear that ASL jacket to make it into round of 8. But let's see what the maps are.
Oh, it does get through scan. It's going to be set 3 if we get there.
So one thing that I'm worried about the Neo Sylphid is 12 o'clock Zerg. 12 o'clock Zerg has the most efficient mining income, and let's see, we are going into the game number 1 of this final match.
Okay, in the mid left, or sorry, mid right, we've got Hero, and in the mid left we have Mini. I was thinking about what you were saying with the cannon positioning from last game. If Mini gets to the left side, we're gonna have the scenario where, you know, the cannons are stacking up vertically, which Zergs would 973 that, right? And then if Hero had gotten top middle, then that would have been the dream for efficient mining. But he still gets mid right, which does have that mineral boost. So this seems like still a dream opener or dream positional spawn for Hero.
And lots of fans and also the MCU teammates are here and rooting for Mini and Hero as well. And some guy is holding the poster, 2004 Gillette Star League. He was watching that Star League in 2004 and he enjoyed it. And he feels great watching this StarCraft League once again. And Mini has put down the pylon at the natural, but has not sent out the scouting probe whatsoever. So this is most likely going to be, I heard this has to be the 9 gate opening. Yeah, he canceled the probe production.
Yep, there it is. It is going to be the 9 gate, so this is going to be faster than in the previous games. I think he went for the 10 gate. And this time around, we do have another overpool opener from Hero. Now remember, we've seen consistently from the Zergs that overpool, they go for the fast gas. And there it is again, 125 gas from Hero.
So that is interesting how recently Zerg meta, the ZVP meta has been shifted. And the reason why Mini is going for the 9 gate opening is because the rush distance is so much closer than what you're actually expected. And also, you can't actually defend against the 9 pool opening if it ever happens. And I heard if opponent ever goes for the 12 hatchery at the, like a 12 o'clock Zerg, then you kind of want to pressure the opponent as hard as you can, so you can actually ruin some of my mining in the early stage of the game and maybe ruin them not having the lair tech on right time. But this is a overpull speed, so I'm going to be expecting Mini will be putting down the forge.
Well, he definitely ruined a little bit of the mining with that probe. Got off a decent amount of damage to a handful of drones, and now he's gonna have to back off. And that is just a Zealot hanging around back in the main, so he ended up not sending it out. And Hero did get speed on his lings. It's already been started. He's only shown 3 lings though, and Probe's gonna try and come in, but he's gonna be denied by these 2 lings on hold position.
Love how that 3 Zerglings have been sneaking out, and other 3s are working on defending their entrance and not letting Mini to scout what he's exactly doing. And that Mini, I like how Mini is playing so brave here, because now we can get to see him placing down the Nexus first and later Forge. But like I said, I was stating that he needed to put down the Forge first and then the Nexus, but now he has gone for Nexus first into Forge, and we are seeing Hero is squeezing all of his larvae for more Zergling production, and Hero is trying to cut off the probe scout. Will he be able to cut off it? Yes, he does.
He just barely gets it, and that means that he's not going to see all these lings moving out onto the map. And we've got the macro hatch coming in the main, just like in the Soma game. But this is a lot of links streaming across the map. However, there's 4 zealots, and he somehow sniffed out that this is going to be mass links because he's already got a cannon halfway done. And I don't think that Hero's going to be able to do anything here.
Yeah, that 4 Zerglings on a nice surface area. Oh, 2 Zerglings somehow able to sneak in. Even 3, 4, 5, even more. Oh my god, this is a critical moment, but Probe has been pulled, and nice. Now, not sure how well Mini's going to be holding up. Look at Mini's. Mini has been opened his mouth, and now he noticed that he's in a dangerous moment here.
Yeah, that's 7 lings in the main. That can rack up so many kills, but he's doing a good job to not over-defend his main. He does need to worry about his natural being breached. But the problem here is that Link can just always swoop in the main and then come back into the natural and try and pick off the cannon. But Mini on top of that, limiting the amount of damage. I don't think he's actually lost any probes in his main just yet. The only thing he's really lost is that single cannon so far. Now he loses a probe, but Hero's continuing to all in this. He has not droned at all. The cannon is complete, the gateway survives, and maybe Mini has held this?
I think Mini actually held this because those probe drill was definitely nice, and those photon cannon is being completed. Second photon cannon is going up. This gateway is dangerously low HP, but I don't think Hero can actually bust it because there's still a lot of zealots are remaining to hold off the Zergling rush, and even if the gateway is taken down, he can immediately place down another gateway ASAP. And now Mini stabilized this his main base of harassment that he has been taken, and similarity is finally going up. There should be the cybernetics core momentarily.
And we saw Hero start droning out of this, so he's putting down a 4th hatch at the mineral only at bottom middle, so he's going to transition out of this. I don't think he showed the lings, the extra lings that he built at the natural, so Mini may be unaware of the position he's in. He's going to move out with 6 zealots, and that's going to force a lot of larvae to be put into these lings to help defend, because these lings aren't going to do anything at the natural. He needs to focus on just these zealots.
And here, like I said earlier, there's optimization of the Zergling count that he needs to defend against the 6 will be 6 times 3, 18 Zergling maximum. And let's see how much of a Zergling he will be actually making to hold off.
Yeah, he does not have enough right now. I think he has like 10. Okay, that's close to 18 right now, but will it be enough to actually knock down these 6 zealots? The zealots get completely surrounded, so he will have enough to knock these down. But really good micro from Mini. He maximizes the amount of damage, but Hero just barely holding on.
Hero actually made additional Zergling, but quite not sure. Maybe he was feeling somewhat anxious to hold off that 6 zealot pressure. So that was overly made the Zergling count, but he managed to hold off nicely. We can get to see Hero still not minding the gas, pumping up lots of drone like how Action was doing. No hydrogen whatsoever. 5 hatchery has been placed.
Yeah, he definitely needs to catch up in the drone count, because you can see even though we're at 7 minutes in the game, and even though he had a huge drone cycle, he still only has 6 on minerals. So he really does need to get his mineral income rolling. Otherwise, he'll just fall further and further behind. So I think that's really good optimization from Hero. Sair, I actually think it was Citadel first for Mini, so he's going to have fast speed. He's going to put on pressure again in just a couple seconds.
And we are seeing Hero is placing down the evolution chamber with the spore colony momentarily. Citadel is now completed. Should be getting the plus the zealot speed on the way. And I kind of noticed that Mini has been mining the second gas really fast, so he's going to be having some saved up gas, saved up bank for maybe like a more White Templar later on.
And that's already a lot of zealots. It's at 5 with a zealot somehow sneaking across the map. Zealot's going to come in here and see a spore, so he's going to know that he's already fooled Hero, and he sees that the Hydra Den is only halfway done. He also sees there's no Sunkens. So this is fantastic spot for Mini. I don't think Hero's respecting the potential that this is 4-gate behind here. He doesn't have that many links that really defend this incoming attack.
So now Mini figures out there's no alert type whatsoever. Single Zealot will be standing behind of the mineral line. We'll buy some time there. And also the 5 Zealot will be coming, but that's not a good arc for Mini to fight against. And 5 Zealot versus how much of a Zergling do you have? Okay, not sure how many yet, but I guess Mini is pretty much waiting for the +1 weapon upgrade to be completed. And I think Hero needs to eat this Zealot before the +1 kicks in.
Yeah, definitely. Once +1 kicks in, this is going to be the nightmare scenario. Those Zealots are going to 2-shot everything. Ling counterattack, but there's 3 cannons already set up. And here comes Mini. Still no +1 weapons, so there is still a moment or an opportunity for Hero to save this. But there's no Sunken. There's no Sim City.
Well, now +1 just kicks in. Sunken Colony is being morphed, but Drone Drill, that is an absolutely nice Drone Drill, but the Zerglings are pretty much getting melted. This is a number of Spirit Zealots just incoming and taking down, assassinating every single unit, and that Zealot is still alive at the beyond of the mineral line.
It doesn't even look like any Zealots died in that fight, and like you said, this Zealot's in the main. I mean, this is just devastating amounts of damage. DT combo, also there's no Overlord, so these hatcheries are 100% dead. Hydras are not long for this world either, and it looks like game 1's going to be headed over towards the mini side. The Zealot's still alive!
That single Zealot is still alive, as you mentioned, and doing tons of damage. And that's a lot of Arjun Tori dust are incoming and slicing any of a Zerg unit. Look at that, one more drones are getting sliced. This is not looking pretty.
This is just unreal amounts of damage. Almost all of the drones at the 3rd base and the natural get wiped off the face of the earth. GG comes out, and that means Mini is 1 game away from making it to the round of 8.
That is incredibly amazing how well he actually held off against the Zergling Olim from Hero. And the moment I really loved was he canceled the simulator on time, so he can actually place down the photon cannon at the main and also defend the natural at the same time. And Hero seems somewhat upset that he didn't play well there.
Yeah, it was really good crisis management from Mini. I think almost if it was any other player, you see 7 Lings get into your base, that's going to do game-ending damage, but he managed it perfectly. And now he's going into game 2, with a lead. He can pull out real shenanigans because he can afford to throw 1 game and still be fine. And what's our second map? Is it Butter?
No, that was a Nemesis.
Nemesis. Okay, well, this is another weird map. Just
So
like Arkanoid.
Nemesis, quite not sure how exactly both of the players will be playing, but the memorable game that we can recall would be Snow versus Queen from yesterday. Queen has gone for the overpull speed and taking down all those egg from both sides, and it kind of ended up Snow taking down the similarity, so he doesn't get to get any backstab unit. And it looks like players are ready.
And in the top left, he must win here. Otherwise he's out. It's Hero. And in the bottom right, 1 game away from making it into the round of 8 again, it is Mini.
And we are seeing both of the players are working on the optimization. And quite not sure what Mini wants to do in this type of game. But let's see. Mini. One guy is rooting for Mini. He wants Mini to win. Looks like that is going to be more drone.
We've had a lot of Mini fans and also a lot of Hero fans. Remember a lot of the signs in the beginning of the stream. There was tons of actual fans for Hero. We do have the probe instantly getting sent out. And he is going to go to top right. Unfortunately, not going to find Hero there.
Yeah, so Hero. I'm trying to recall the overpull speed lane on a offline ASL stage game, things did not work out well. So I think most of the Zerg players are trying to work on this new trendy build with the overpool opening, but now things are not working out well. So I don't think Hero will be doing the same way. So he will be just going for classic overpool build into an expansion. And there's a forge build, and Mini is sending out a second probe all the way to 7 o'clock. So this is most likely what he wants to go for the cannon rush if Hero ever goes for the 12 hatchery build.
Oh, that's not gonna be happening this game. So no cannon rush on the menu today, but we may still. Well, I was gonna say we could see it in game 3, but that's not gonna happen either because it's Arkanoid. But Nini's gonna be able to put down probably Nexus first, or Nexus follow-up instead of cannons first. So he's gonna have a good opener relative to what Hero has.
So here are the couple of Zergons being made, and Nexus being placed, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be 13-13 for Mini. Because I guess he wants to play safe here. 13-13, and 13 cannon finally goes up. And whenever he gets to see only 2 Zergs being made, so he will be immediately placing down the gateway anytime soon.
Yep, just one Ling actually moving across the map. Protoss is not scared of one Zergling. And we do have Hero taking top middle as his third base. And there is the gateway.
And that is super fast extractor, I have to say. I mean, the game has been going for almost like 2 minutes 55 seconds, and the extractor is about to be done already. And now Mini is working on this pumping up lots of probe with the gateway and then the pylon follow instead of putting down a simulator really quick.
And Hero did just scout Mini's entrance. He saw that it was Forge opener, Nexus, and Gateway just now coming up. And behind this, Mini's gas has started, and he's just going to be going into normal tech opener as the follow-up. We see drones coming out. We see Lair has started, so no Hydra Den for Hero.
Yeah, none of the players are trying to do something sneaky bold, but I'm also curious. Why didn't Mini do the cannon rush at the 12 o'clock?
Yeah, I guess he could have. There's no vision there either, so it would have been probably a killing move onto that third hatch. I don't know if Hero even considered that, so a bit of a missed opportunity, I guess, for Mini, but it's still fine because both players are just playing normal, and you know Mini is definitely comfortable in just a normal game. Cybernetics is halfway done. We saw him open Fast Citadel last game. Could see it again, but more than likely it's going to be Stargate.
Yeah, that's my question. I mean, he knew there must be the third hatchery somewhere, and he wasn't actually looking for him. If he has seen it, maybe he could have gone for the photon cannon at the 12 o'clock, I believe, because any of the Zerglings cannot sneak in. If the photon cannon was going up, Hero has to pull some couple of drones to defend, and that pretty much will buy some time for Mini to tech up really fast. But I guess this is going to be a classic macro play style from both of the players. Hero has gone for the lair tech, and look at that. Hero is working on that, taking down the Zerg egg.
Yep, and that probe just glitches right through. Don't mind me. Oh, we actually have Hydrogen coming down with the lair. So this could be lurkers or fast drop.
Yeah, we can see Hero is already mining the second gas. So this is going to be... I'm gonna be assuming this is going to be an all-in build for from Hero, because I am seeing second gas for probably the lurker upgrade with something else, maybe like you mentioned about the lurker drop, or with that 200 Vespin gas you can upgrade with the drop upgrade. You can get more lurker with maximum 5 and go for the Zergling all-in bust.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get like a look at the high ground of the natural. Can lurkers actually hit from the high ground onto the mineral line?
I don't know. I know Hellsten can do, and the vultures don't.
Okay, so maybe lurkers on the high ground actually can't hit the mineral line. This is a map I've only played once, so I'm not sure exactly. But we actually see these Hydras, I think they have speed moving out, and that's going to be 6 Zealots moving out at the same time.
Well, that is really weird. I didn't expect about the Speed Hydra here, but I mean, if you were going for Mass Hydra, why particularly you need to have the second guess, in my opinion? And here the 6 Zealots will be buying some time, and some people may wonder the tile set is the difference, so that must be the high ground Zealot, but that is not a high ground Zealot. Both of them are at the same level. Second level, the second floor level, and Zealots are going to be taking full hit damage.
Yeah, I actually really like this because what I think this is intending to do is force 1 billion cannons at the natural, and then he's going to drop the main where there's no defense.
Oh.
The Zealot also doesn't scout really anything. He sees nothing other than mass hydras. There's 3 cannons, but yeah, look, a double Stargate. I don't think that's what you need versus mass hydras.
Okay, that is a build order loss here, and the orbital speed is done. And I think I remember this strategy somewhere, and this has been done somewhere in ASL Season 8 or Season 7, I believe, where Zealot took down Snow in the map Multiverse and went for the 4 hatchery Hydra drop at the 8:30 mark of the game. But never mind, I guess you were just going to be executing the game.
Yeah, I guess if you're just not going to build that many cannons, I can just kill you at the front. So this was a complete build order loss for Mini. I don't know where it went wrong, what triggered him to go double Stargate and not respect the Hydras, but he got completely caught off guard, and now the series tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Mini that he was kind of guessing the game. Oh, I see you mining the second guess, so that has to be Spire going for the heavy meta build. So I'm going to be building 2 Stargate to do the right counter against it, but his guess was wrong. He seems very upset, and now it is going to be turning into a Neo Arcanoid, and he seems he's not ready to play on Neo Arcanoid.
Yeah, this is definitely not the map you want to be playing a best of 1 on. You have no intel. There's no way to get intel until the mid game, and by then you may already be dead. So, and also he already showed his PVZ opener versus action, so Hero can already kind of make a guess on what Mini wants to actually go for, potentially.
Yeah, that is going to be the best 1 series, and both of the players are ready. Hero is licking his lips for some reason. I guess he seems having some dry mouth. And Mini, from his player cam, he seems very upset that he lost on the second game because I'm pretty sure he really wanted to avoid Neo Arcanoid.
Yeah, I don't know why you let this through. Zergs have played so well on here. Mini's like the only Protoss that's gotten a victory on it. Okay, in the top left, tying up the score 1-1, it is Hero, and in the top right, it is Mini. And we had literally the exact same spawns yesterday. It was Snow versus, can't remember exactly which Zerg because there was 3
Queen.
of them. But Queen?
Yes, Queen.
Okay, Queen. And we saw him go for that 2-hatch Hydra Ling bust.
And let's see what Mini will be doing, whether Mini will be doing the same strategy or whatnot. But what happened to the supply difference? I mean, Mini's having, well, I guess Zerg has those larva advantage to have a supply lead, but never mind, he's having the correct supply count. And now he placed down the pylon at the entrance of the middle choke. And let's see whether he will be going for the Nexus build or the same opener like a 1 gate Cyberknife core build.
Yeah, and regardless of who wins here, I want to see Zerg do like a 2-hatch Hydra or something aggressive here, because I want to see how Protoss can actually defend 3 positions. I want to see how they can actually do that if Zerg opens aggressively. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen though, because Hero's floating those minerals. He is going to put a hatchery down at either top middle or mid left. So we're going to have another macro game just like what Action tried to pull off.
And now Hero is making more drone. Whether he's gonna be expanding towards to the bottom or to the right, but never mind. Main base to hatchery. That is interesting.
What? Okay, well, this could only mean that it has to be a 2-hatch bust, right? Like, this can only be, I'm assuming, like Ling Hydra play. I don't know why else you would ever build your hatchery there as opposed to the other expansion. And there we go. There's the pool and there's the gas. So it is going to be an aggressive opener.
Well, maybe I might know why he wanted to put down the macro hatchery at the main base, because there's no other place to put down. Because if you're putting down the hatchery right next to your expansion, then you eventually need to put down another macro hatchery in order to have a better efficient mining.
That is true. That could be what he was thinking. But the fact that the gas came down, I mean, it has to be hydrogen, right? It could be Lair still, but Mini showed that he did play one base opener. He did not go fast Nexus versus Action. So I don't know if Hero really wants to go into Lair, but he hasn't spent the gas yet. He got speed.
He spent that 100 Vespin gas resource for the metabolic boost, which is a Zergling speed on the way. Stargate is on the way as well. Mini is okay. That's a Hydroden.
Yep. So this is going to be all in, really, and we do see Mini is going into pretty much identical opener, I think, that we saw versus Action. His Stargate's about to finish. He's got that single Zealot, single Probe clearing out the cocoon. But the first few Lings are on top of those temples, and they take them down quickly. They take them down surprisingly quickly, even though they have, like 2,000 health. And luckily for Hero, he's going to find Mini at top right, and he's going to be very thrilled to know that, hey, we've got a horizontal spawn, which means you're close to me.
Yeah, you're right. And now he's taking down the power generator. One Zealot, one Guns are standing, and I don't think Mini knows about this. I don't think Mini knows about this until that first Corsair flies towards the 11 o'clock soon. And here is the Zerg incoming. Whether he's going to be breaking the right side of the power generator, and yes, it is going to be. I guess it's just going to be knocking down the Protoss Temple and finish the game.
Yeah, I think actually Mini needs to cancel this Nexus and build a Forge ASAP. I don't see how you can hold both positions. But he has one Zealot and one Goon. That's the entirety of his defense. That Goon can actually hit the Ling at the bottom side, but that's it. He can't hit the rest of them, I don't think, and he does cancel the Nexus, and he does go into the Forge. But the problem still remains, is even if you hold this position, Zerg can still attack the top side. They can still attack the bottom side. Probes are coming off the line to help defend, so for now, Mini's going to hold.
One thing is, both of the player has to be paying attention to their units. Don't want to lose the Overlord, and also placing down the shield battery, photon cannon, robotic facility whatsoever. And now Mini, somehow he managed to hold off at the entrance, the mid entrance, but look at that, the right side, I mean the top side is slowly going to be open.
Yeah, even though the temple has 5,000 health, it's probably around 3,000 right now. Yeah, it's at 3,500. And these cannons that are outside that choke don't help him anymore. He's scrambling to get up 2 cannons at his natural. Feel like we're in the same scenario that Snow was in, where he's trying to balance his defense across, this huge surface area, but it's just so hard to do.
Yeah, Mini seems very tilted. He knows what's coming. He knows the fate. He knows the destiny. What's coming. He has to defend it, but he knows how. He doesn't really know how he has to be defending. And now he's not even protecting his photon cannon.
That was a huge mistake, and you can see it in Mini's face. He knows that it's over now. There's just nothing to stop the Hydras, nothing to stop the Lings. The cannons were the one hope he had, and with both of them falling, he has nothing to actually deal with these Hydras anymore.
And that is just painful for Mini to defend. He is tilted. He knows the fate, the destiny he has to admit, and he's now scratching his head off. And Hero smiles. He takes the win.
Yeah, frustrating way to lose. Mini didn't mix it up at all on Arcanite. He showed his strategy. He showed his hand in the series versus action, and not deviating at all really cost him there. Hero just picked him apart, and he falls the exact same way Snow fell.
Yeah, quite not sure how the things could have been a different way against this 12 hatchery Zergling Hydra Rush. And we are going into the interview, and I want to notify to the audience that stay tuned for the group draw soon after the winners interview as well. And yeah, now Hero is getting up for the interview here.
And I'm sure he's very excited because he had a tilting series versus Royal. So for him to redeem himself versus Mini, he's got to be feeling fantastic.
ASL Season 14
Round of 16, that was the last day of the group D. The second player who will be advancing into round of 8. He is Hero. Congratulations.
역시 경험 많은 조일장 선수답게 오늘
And Hero,
16강도
you have lots of
여러
experience
차례
and showed
위기가
us
있었지만 결국에
a great performance today.
8강으로 향합니다. 2시즌 만에 8강으로 다시 향하는 조일장 선수예요.
You took about 2 seasons break that you weren't in round of 8, and you had some tough moment to play against the opponent as well in the winners match. And also the decider match against Mini. And how do you feel that you're in round of 8?
그냥 오늘 현재만 잡고 올라가야겠다고 생각하고 있었어.
So he is saying pretty much he just wanted to beat Mini only to make it into round of 8, and things just worked out well as what he was planning.
변현재 선수의 경기에선 뚫어내는 듯한 모습이 좀 있었거든요. 아무래도 승자전에서 약간의 멘탈이 흔들렸기 때문에
So on winners match against Royal, we think
그냥 열받더라고요.
you
지성이
had some
모르겠는데. 그래가지고 그냥 최종전 할 때 그냥
mental issue against Royal because of Royal has been playing so aggressively with the all-in and cheesy playstyle. You had some tough moment to deal against Royal. So can that be the reason why you played aggressive against Mini? And Hero is answering that question.
일단은 1경기
Hero is pretty much saying that he just wanted to play something in playstyle. He just didn't want it to show his
저는 솔직히
macro playstyle.
아 이거 1승 빌드 아닌가라고 생각을 예전에 맵 나왔을 때부터 하고 있었어가지고 한 번만 따자.
Hero is saying about the new Arkanoid build, Zerg vs Protoss. When the map was selected, he knew this build is just 100% win build against Protoss, and he wanted to show to the audience and play on an offline stage and work that well.
것 같습니다. 또 오랜만에 8강 다전제를 준비하셔야 할 차례인데요. 김태경 선수, 이재호 선수, 장윤철 선수를 만날 수 있는 문이 열려 있거든요.
So now you are in a second player list, so you have a chance meeting Light, Bisu, Snow, and Royal. Who would you like to play against? And here is saying that he would like to play against someone who's very strong, and he would like to play against Snow. He kind of wants MC Lee Hyun to pull out the draw and have that nice bracket. Any last word to your fan and audience? It's been a long time for the audience to come by to the studio and watch the game because we had the pandemic corona issue. Thank you for coming by, and also thank you for the CW University, Charwa University teammates. He wants to say thanks to the chairman and the leader. A lot of practice members he would like to mention. YLC, Bisu, JD,
명훈이 형이랑
Queen,
호선이 형이랑 또 영재
Suck
네.
and JYJ.
하고 전하고 싶어요.
He would like to say
고생 많으셨고요. 8강에서
he would like to appreciate for the support and helping his game.
감사합니다.
And thank you for the interview and congratulations making it to
자,
round of
이렇게 해서
8.
이번 시즌
And
마지막 8강
that was the
진출자
last
적은
game of
조일장
today.
선수와 함께했습니다.
And we'll be going into the group draw soon. Stay tuned.
Yep, and we're getting a look at how today unfolded. You can see Royal took down Action, Hero took down Mini. Royal took down Hero, Mini took down Action to eliminate him, and then Hero closing it out, taking down Mini again to the 1. So we've got 3 Terrans, 3 Zergs, 2 Protoss in the round of 8. Is there any matchup you want to see from this list?
Well, I want to see Royal versus... No, actually, never mind. I want to see Bisu versus Hero. Or Bisu versus Soki, either way. Or actually, Bisu versus Shine actually works as well because in ASL Season 3, where in ASL Season 3, Shine got the second place that season, and he took down Bisu with some type of strategy with like a lurker bust and the map called Outsider. And Bisu seems like he had some trouble facing against Shine as well. So I would like to see how well both of the players will be played.
Yeah, you know, yesterday I was really hoping Soma would make it out because then we could have potentially Rush versus Soma, which we know those players have a long history playing like 3,000 sponsored games in the past couple of years. Didn't actually happen though, obviously. So I agree. I actually want to see Bisu versus Shine. And then the rest, I'm kind of indifferent for. But after today, I want to see Royal versus Hero because you know Hero is smoking mad about the games he had versus Royal. So I'd really like to see the Royal Hero draw and also Bisu Shine.
And one thing, I think there's a rule that if the first player and the second player, both of them made it into round of 8, and they were also in a group, same group in the round of 16. I heard they don't get to play each other in the round of 8, so it's kind of unfortunate that Royal and Hero cannot play each other once again in round of 8, I heard.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of tournaments are, but I guess I don't think we've ever had that happen in ASL. Like, I don't think anybody's drawn each other from the same group.
They did before, and then
they did?
Yeah, they did, and then they decided to place it in that
Okay.
the plastic box. And let's hear what she says.
핫식스와 함께하는 ASL 시즌
So,
14
of course,
10월했던 16강 경기가 모두
we have
끝나고
the sponsorship
8명의
by the
8강
Hot
진출자
Six.
선수들이 모두
We have the
결정됐습니다.
We finally ended the round of 16, the group stage, and we are going to start the round of 8 group draw soon. So she is explaining about the rule. If both of the players have been played each other in round of 16 before, they cannot play each other. Like how I mentioned, Royal and Hero, they made it out of the group in the round of 16, so they won't be playing each other in round of 8. So we redraw.
선수가 추첨을 통해서 만났을 경우에는 이영환 선수의 공을 제외하고 재추첨을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그럼 16강 1위 진출자 선수들을 추첨하도록 하겠습니다.
She is going to be pulling out the group draw of the first player, the red box, the red ball. And the first player, it is going to be the red color. I saw the red color, so that has to be the Terran. Royal is going to be in day 1.
테란 김지성 선수입니다.
And the second ball, it is going to the blue color. Bisu it is.
프로토스 김태경 선수입니다.
And the third player, that is going to be... Will it be another blue color? No, that is red color, so that is going to be light. And the last one, that is going to be Snow.
바로 C조의 1위 진출자 프로토스
Automatically.
장윤철 선수가 되겠네요. 자 이렇게 16강 1위 진출자 선수들을
So
추첨을
those are
통해서
the
A, B, C,
players
D에
who are
각각 위치시켰습니다. 자 이제 16강
who are
1위
belonging
진출자
in
선수를 추첨을
Day 1
통해서
for Royal,
대진을
Day 2 for
완성시키도록
Bisu,
하겠습니다.
Day 3 for Light, and Day 4 for
자,
Snow.
먼저 김지성
So second
선수와
player who will be
만나게 될
facing,
선수는요.
so second player, she's gonna be drawing and facing against Royal. That will be, that was the purple color.
조일장 선수가
Hero.
나왔기 때문에
So
이
she
부분을
is going
제외하고
to
다시 한번
place it in a
재추첨을 진행하도록
different table. So she will be drawing it later on.
자, 테란 김지성 선수와 8강에서
So
경기를
who is going to be facing against Royal? That is Shine. So as Royal wanted to Royal wanted to play against Shine. That was his dream. So his dream became true.
자, 계속해서
So now she has to put that
김태경 선수와 경기를 펼칠 선수는요.
hero's ball inside of the plastic bucket, and then now pulling out the collar, the red collar. That is going to be Rush. So now she has to put that Rush's ball to the side and redraw once again because Bisu and Rush were in the same group in a round of 16. They don't get to play each other. Seems like a purple color, Soki. So Bisu versus Soki it is.
자, 이렇게 되면 B조에서는 김태경 선수와 김민철 선수의 프로토스 대 저그전의 경기가 펼쳐집니다.
And now Rush's ball is going to be going back inside of that bucket. And now she is going to grab another ball, see what color it is going to be. The red color, Rush. So Light versus Rush.
이재호 선수와 유영진 선수의 8강 대진이 완성됐습니다. 자, 이렇게 되면
The last one, that is going to be Snow versus Hero, and Hero in the winners interview he said that he wanted to face against Snow in round of 8 and his dream became true.
자, 이렇게 ASL 시즌
So now we're done with the ASL Season 14 round of 8 group draw show. And this is we are going to the other screen soon to show the date and who's are going to be played in a round of 8, day 1 and day 4, all the way to day 4.
Yep, and Royal did get what he wanted, which is versus Shine. I don't actually know if that's really what you want, because if you're gonna play mind games versus the mind game king, it's gonna be a rough match. I think if Royal wants to win there, he needs to just play straight up, but we'll see what he wants to do. You can see our schedule. It's gonna be, it's just literally next week, same time, same place, Tuesday and Wednesday. So nothing really you have to do any different.
Yeah, right. And Royal, he said he wanted to play against Shine, and like I said, I don't know, for some reason I had a feeling that he will be making it into round of 4, and maybe this is his chance that he's gonna be breaking his limit and having a new record of his career, make it into round of 4. I'm glad to see Royal keeping up his pace and showing nice performance all the time. And also I'm looking forward to see Soki make it into round of 4 as well, because Soki has been getting eliminated in round of 8 most of the time. Like who stopped it from last season? Was it Queen or someone else?
I think it was Queen, and I'm looking at how the bracket unfolds. If Royal makes it past Shine and Soki makes it past Bisu, well, Royal might have all Terran versus Zerg all the way to the finals. If Soki beats Bisu and Royal beats Shine, Soki may be able to avoid Zerg all the way to the finals. So that's an interesting dynamic where Soki might actually have his best chance to actually win the entire thing. I realize there's a lot of Zergs in general, but if he can avoid Zerg, I mean, he's super strong versus Terran, he's super strong versus Protoss. He has a real shot of actually going the distance.
And look at those face looking at each other from the profile picture. Looking great. And the third one, it is going to be Light versus Rush. I heard I heard Light has some like something going on between Light and Rush, because before Rush became so good at this StarCraft game and make it into like a second place in the ASL Season 12, I heard Light was giving lots of information, like how the game has been played in the TVZ, TVT, and TVP. Like Light was pretty much like the mentor for Rush too. So Rush is like a student facing against Light.
All right, well, that's a cool dynamic there. You could potentially see the student take down Light, because even though Light, I would say, is probably the #1 Terran right now, I mean, #2 and #3, which is Rush and Royal, they're right up there. I mean, the difference in skill between Light, Rush, and Royal is so close that definitely Rush could take down Light. And we already saw Royal take down Light, what was it, 2 or 3 seasons ago? And then, of course, our final matchup, it's going to be Snow versus Hero. Snow played so well versus Zerg. I really think Snow has a good shot of getting past Hero, and then it doesn't really matter who comes out of the Light versus Rush matchup. We know Snow's God tier versus Terran, so Snow has a real chance to go all the way to the finals.
Oh, that is also a nice way of for a Snow's ASL journey. And yeah, Hero has been showing such a nice performance, and I'm kind of wondering how Snow is going to be performing in next 2 weeks. He has 2 weeks, 14 days to practice, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be fixing his mistake, what he could have done better for Neo Arkanoid, because it's best of 5 series. Maybe in that best of 5 series he'll be banning Neo Arkanoid and try to eliminate the possibility and not gonna be giving away a free point.
Yeah, I think you just got to get rid of it. You just can't scout. That's the issue. If you could scout, it's different. Yeah, I realize there's still 3 pathways to defend, but you can't scout and there's 3 pathways. It just seems impossible. So I think it's just an insta ban for the majority of players. And we should be wrapping up in just a second. Of course, we're waiting to see Caster Park's signal. And that's it, Scan. How do you think the games were today? Was there anybody that surprised you?
Well, I know Royal is the type of player who likes to play something stylish and do something like a weird style, or maybe do the proxy building like a TVP proxy starport, but he does a proxy factory in TVZ. I didn't even expect it. We have seen he does proxy 8 racks into 111, but didn't get to see first time seeing him doing all in.
Yeah, that also caught me off guard. So we're done today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.